bowling struck out the first 5 Braves, setting the tone for a long night. On the other side, it was even a longer night for Steve Avery.
That's in the dirt and toward the dugout. Here comes Kruk with the go-ahead run.
And when you get caught between the moon and the Liberty Bell, you better not crack.
And here's a double play, one off of Matisse. Threw it away! Into the game for defense. He threw it into right field.
The battle was almost lost, but in October, it's the soldiers that win the wars.
Down the line, fair ball. Kruk around to score. Kim Matisse goes from goat to hero in a matter of minutes.
So it came to this. Today in Philadelphia, hats on to their Philadelphia Phillies. And on a glorious night, as we get ready for Game 2, they're not talking sweep here, but they are a little giddy over their first trip to the postseason in 10 years. Oh, are the Atlanta Braves down, out, scared, worried? Not after that stretch drive, gaining 10 games to get here. So here they both are, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. Game 2 of the National League Championship Series, right here, live on CBS. Hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, and welcome to CBS Sports coverage of the baseball playoffs. This is where you want to be to the final out of the World Series. What struck us about last night was not so much the heroics of that one man, but the let's not quit attitude of the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, we know this is the kind of thing you learn in Little League, but the Phillies have taken this together, this thing, and put a capital T on it, and it works.
It's fun because, you know, we all get along. I know last year we were kind of divided because we were so bad. You know, it was the hitters against the pitchers. You know, we were more of a struggle with ourselves than anything else, but, you know, I think this year everyone gets along. We even get along with our pitchers, even Mitch.
You know, as a group of individuals in that clubhouse, we're a bunch of confident people, and we have believed from the beginning that we could compete in the National League and that we could win in this league, and we set that stage early, and we proved that early, and we're here in October now.
You guys seem to carry this closeness thing to another level here on the Phillies, don't you?
Well, we need to. You know, that's the way we started out all spring, and we kind of carried that into the season. You know, to throw that many different people to a nucleus that we had last year. I mean, that was a big turnover that we had, and it seemed that everybody gelled early. And this, you know, playing in this town and the things that we've been through to stay together, that means a lot.
As for the Atlanta Braves, as you all know, nothing new to them to be behind. They spent the whole second half chasing the Giants. Here's how Terry Pendleton sees their situation. As leader of this team, do you just say to yourself, we've been through so much in the second half of the season, really this probably doesn't even bother you? I'm sure it bothers you didn't win, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, you know, it's a situation where you feel like you want to win them all, or you can come out and win them all, but you don't. So this team has been there before, and believe me, we'll be coming back. This isn't over after one game.
Yeah, you don't look too worried, Terry.
No, I'm not, to tell you the truth. I have confidence in our ability to play the game. Not taking anything away from the Phillies, but I have confidence in our ability.
And so we're set. A beautiful night, as we said, here in Philadelphia. 68 degrees at game time. And when we come back, we're going to send you up. I'm not sure it's going to be that far up, but Sean McDonough and Tim McCarver are going to bring you the game tonight. Enjoy Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. See you later.
Sunday on CBS.
Emmitt Smith's back in the end zone for the Cowboys.
But the Colts defense is very aggressive.
Great interconference matchup.
We're big fans.
This is CBS.
The Seville SLS is a new driving force, but you can handle it with the new power.
Looks like it's going to be one of those days. Take it from us, U.S. Healthcare.
Power of a smart lease. Seville SLS creates a higher standard with the North Star system. At its heart and soul is the response of a 270 horsepower V8. And now Cadillac Smart Lease puts a new Seville SLS within your grasp for $539 a month for 24 months with $2,170 down. See your Cadillac Super Network dealers.
Looks like it's going to be one of those days. Take it from us,
Yakety yak, yakety
U.S. Healthcare, the health plan for living.
yakety yak. Tonight here at Veterans Stadium, the Braves and Phillies have a tough act to follow, their own, as they meet in Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Vet. I'm Sean McDonough, along with Tim McCarver, and it's great to have you with us. Not only was last night's ball game a thriller won by Philadelphia in 10 innings, but we witnessed history last night. In 765 postseason games prior to last night's game, never had a man entered a ball game as a defensive replacement, made an error, and then gone on to drive in the game-winning run. But that was the transformation for Kim Batiste last night.
Kim Batiste, rarely can baseball give you the opportunity to redeem yourself. It can be very unforgiving. Last night, top of the ninth inning, a throwing error by Kim Batiste, ultimately allowing Bill Pecota to score. And now the redeemer with John Kruk on at second base and one out. A ground ball by the diving Terry Pendleton. And John Kruk scores to give the Phillies their 12th extra inning win of the year. I do, however, Sean, think that the Phillies have to win tonight. That will assure them a trip back to Veterans Stadium, because if you go down to the chop shop 1-1, the Braves could very easily sweep this ball club.
The pitching matchup for tonight's Game 2 for the Atlanta Braves, 20-game winner Greg Maddux. He'll be opposed by Tommy Green, who is 10-0 here at the Vet this year. The first pitch right after this.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 2 of the National League Championship Series is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your bud. And by Aetna, a policy to do more.
Houston 710 at Selma and Wilton. Stand by, 710.
Imagine a cold medication so effective, one tablet keeps symptoms from coming back a full 24 hours. Introducing Effidac 24, the first cold tablet for consistent 24-hour relief. Look, Sudafed drops off after 6 hours, Tavist after 12, so your symptoms keep coming back. But just one Effidac gives consistent relief for 24 hours, so your symptoms don't come back. New 24-hour Effidac keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
Rangers, Cherokees, Broncos, Explorers, Pathfinders, Blazers. Any pickup or 4x4, on-road or off. Introducing the tough new LTX Light Truck Series from Michelin.
There are lots of credit cards, but only one offers Smart Rate. Now as low as 14.9%. The name of the card? Discover Card. It pays to discover.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. Superior wear protection plus superior heat and stress protection. New advanced formula Quaker State, formulated for today's high-tech engines.
Bobby Cox is using the same batting order tonight that he employed last night in Game 1. Otis Nixon leads off in center field. Jeff Blauser is the shortstop, batting second. Batting third in left field, Ron Gant. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Fred McGriff. David Justice in right field bats fifth. Terry Pendleton at third base hitting sixth. The catcher, Damon Berryhill, bats seventh. Mark Lemke at second base hits eighth. And the pitcher, Greg Maddux, bats ninth.
The defense for the Philadelphia Phillies, the bookends are different tonight in left and right field. Milt Thompson, the starter, in left. Glenn Dykstra in center, and Jim Eisenreich in right field. Dave Hollins, the third baseman. Kevin Stocker at shortstop. Tonight, in replacing Mariano Duncan, it's Mickey Morandini at second base. John Kruk, who scored the winning run in last night's game at first, and Darren Dalton behind the plate. 26-year-old Tommy Green on the mound. He originally signed with the Braves back in 1985, and he is 10-0 at Veterans Stadium this year, and he has won 13 straight games over a 2-year period here at the Vet.
And that record at home, the reason why he is starting Game 2 instead of Game 1 in making this Game 2 start. His next scheduled start in this series would be Game 6, if and when the series returns to Philadelphia. Otis Nixon digs in to lead this one off. He's hitting .269, a homer, and 24 runs driven in. That was his average in the regular season, and he was a going concern for the Phillies last night, as Nixon reached base 3 times with 2 hits and a walk, and he drove in 2 runs.
One thing the Brave hitters will try to make Tommy Green do is get the fastball down. He can be wild high.
Fastball inside and low, and we're underway on another beautiful night in Philadelphia. Frank Pulley calls the balls and strikes. Terry Tata at first, Jim Quick at second, Jerry Crawford at third, Joe West in left, and Bruce Fremming in right. The fastball was up 2-0 on Nixon. Ball 3. Green, a big fella, 6'5", 219 pounds. And Otis waited for a strike that never came. He walked on 4 pitches to start the ball game. We spoke of the ideal conditions. It couldn't be any more pleasant in Philadelphia than it is tonight. 68 degrees, the game time temperature. Wind out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour. It's supposed to get even warmer later in the week as the scene will shift to Atlanta. Now Jeff Blauser, who hit .305 during the regular season with 15 homers and 73 driven in.
I don't think Nixon will be running until Green throws a strike.
He has accomplished that with strike 1 to Blauser. Jimmy Williams, the third base coach. Nixon stole 47 bases during the regular season. That placed him 3rd in the National League. Chuck Carr of Florida led with 58. Marquise Grissom of the Expos had 53. Otis was only thrown out 13 times trying to steal.
Otis from Evergreen, North Carolina. Where did he get his speed? He says from his mom.
Mother Gracie. Otis says even when she was 35 or 40 years old, she could outrun just about everybody on the Atlanta team.
And everybody in the neighborhood.
That's
Evergreen.
right. Otis used to bring the kids in the neighborhood over to his house, run races against Gracie, and she beat them all. Blauser in the hole 0-2, weakened by the flu and an ear infection last night. He went 0 for 4 with a walk, struck out his first 3 times up against Schilling. And he laid off the breaking ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Count right now, I think, because Green is more inclined to throw a breaking ball, and since stands to reason a breaking ball is slower, a good pitch on which to run.
Nixon does not run, and that's strike 3. A called 3rd strike over the outside corner. Blauser strikes out for the 4th time already in the series, and that's the first out of the ball game.
I was crossed up both ways. Otis Nixon didn't run, and the pitch wasn't a breaking ball, but a fastball that sliced the outside corner. Right there. Looks a little outside from that view, but usually, especially with 2 strikes, if a catcher is sitting on the outside corner, even if the ball's a little outside, he'll get the pitch.
Nixon at first with 1 out now, and Ron Gant is at the plate. Those 36 homers and 117 runs batted in for Gant during the regular season, career highs. Good throw that time by Green, and Nixon was back just ahead of the tag of John Kruk. Kruk admitted after the ball game last night that his back, which had bothered him in the days leading up to last night's game 1, did stiffen up a bit as the game went along last night and the temperature dropped. First pitch to Gant, low and away, ball 1. Not the kind of production Braves fans have come to expect from the heart of the order, provided by Gant, McGriff, and Justice last night. They were combined 2 for 13. Gant did walk and score a run. He was 1 for 4 with a single, but he struck out 3 times. Off the glove of Dalton, and Nixon moves into scoring position. Looked like a pitch that was easily handled by Dalton, but for some reason he couldn't squeeze it, and the Braves have a runner at second with 1 out.
Yeah, Dalton very upset with himself. This ball sailed a little bit and pops right out of the web. Tommy Green led the National League in wild pitches. Darren Dalton, that was certainly a pass ball. And that allows Nixon, instead of stealing second base, he walks there. Now the Phillies will try to keep him close. You could see Mickey Morandini, the second baseman. Since Gant is a pull hitter, it's only natural that Morandini comes over and keeps Nixon close to second.
Slap to the right side, and Morandini throws him out. Nixon at third, but now there are 2 down in the first.
Tommy Green undefeated at home, and since World War II there have been 3 other pitchers that have been undefeated at home. Boo Ferris of the 46 Red Sox, Billy Pierce of the 62 San Francisco Giants, and Orel Hershiser back in 1985. Orel that year was 19-3, and Tommy Green 16-4 this year.
Fred McGriff lifts a high drive to deep right field, and that one is going to sail way out of here. Almost into the upper deck. It hit the facing of the upper deck in right, and the Braves take a 2-0 lead on a mammoth home run by Fred McGriff.
Ouch. Fred McGriff last night had an interesting comment about Curt Schilling. He said he was wild enough in the strike zone, he rarely threw the ball down the middle of the plate. Well, this one's right down the heart of the plate. Right down the middle. Watch the right hand and that whipping action of Fred McGriff. And did he ever get all of that one? Boy, that's awesome.
It landed in Conshohocken.
Concrete Hawken.
Almost into the upper deck. So it's 2-0 Atlanta, and David Justice looked at strike 1. McGriff had 37 home runs during the regular season, dividing his time between San Diego and Atlanta. First inning difficulty has plagued Tommy Green this year. His earned run average this season in the first inning, 6.90. His ERA goes down to 2.85 thereafter.
2 balls and a strike on Justice. Mentioned last night that Barry Bonds said recasting a vote for National League MVP, and he couldn't vote for himself. He'd vote for David Justice. One of the reasons why, the improved fielding of Justice this year, according to Barry, and Justice agrees with that. That's to right and handled by Eisenreich, and it ends the inning. But the Braves take a 2-0 lead on a tremendous blast by Fred McGriff. 2-0 Atlanta as the Phillies come up for the first time.
This year during the World Series, Budweiser will bring you the game within the game. The Budweiser World Series Classic. To play, go to your favorite store, look for this sign, and pick up an official game card. Then catch the Budweiser Classic play during each game of the World Series. Each one's worth $100,000. Who knows? You could make the greatest play of the series.
Nice catch.
The continent of Europe hosted over 100 million vacationers last year. Not one of them, however, was a Lexus engineer. Why? Let's just say they were busy. The 1994 Lexus ES. Improved, revised, refined, embellished. In a word, new.
Double header. I'm hungry. That goes double for me. McDonald's, I'm the double.
Thanks to McDonald's Double Plays, you can get 2 double cheeseburgers for $2 or 2 triple cheeseburgers for $3.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
One of the most innovative real estate companies in America. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
When Harlan takes the stand, will there be justice for all?
I'm a simple country duck.
Doesn't he just give you goosebumps?
That's why I wear this long robe. Evening shade. Then Mom and Dad are stepping out. If you'd like to wait in the bar.
Dave, let's just go get a burger.
No, my wife did not shave her legs for a burger.
All new Dave's World after Evening Shade Monday.
The lineup for Jim Fragosi's Phillies tonight. Lenny Dykstra leads off in center field. Mickey Morandini batting second at second base. John Kruk, the first baseman, hits third. The cleanup hitter, third baseman Dave Hollins. Batting fifth, the catcher Darren Dalton. Jim Eisenreich is in right field batting sixth. The left fielder Milt Thompson hits seventh. Kevin Stocker at shortstop bats eighth. And the pitcher Tommy Green bats ninth against Greg Maddux.
Tough to spot a guy who led the National League in earned run average, 2 runs in the first inning. Greg Maddux, 20-10 on the year, and the Cy Young winner of a year ago, and could win it again this year.
Lenny Dykstra leads off. He hit .305 during the regular season. First ball swinging, a pop-up in shallow center. And Otis Nixon has it, 1 out.
To give you an idea of how far it was that Fred McGriff's home run went, Willie Stargell hit the longest ball ever right through that exit. I don't know that that ball was ever found, as a matter of fact. You can see the star right to the left of the light. Jim Bunning threw it, and I called it. I'm sorry to say, back in 1971. And that was about, the ball McGriff hit was about 30 feet lower than that and a little more to the right field position. What a tremendous clout by Fred McGriff.
Mickey Morandini starting at second base tonight. He did not appear in last night's ball game. Mariano Duncan got the start. There's a base hit. A ground ball through the left side for Mickey Morandini.
Both of these teams are just relentless on offense. Mickey Morandini, his second pitch at postseason play, and he hits it hard to left.
He was second on the team in stolen bases during the regular season with 13. He was only thrown out twice. And the batter is John Kruk, 8th in the league in hitting during the regular season at .316. Kruk scored the game-winning run in the 10th. He doubled with 1 out off Greg McMichael and scored when Batiste followed with a base hit down the left field line. McMichael said both of the pitches to Kruk and Batiste that went for hits were changeups.
That's the thing that got McMichael the #1 job in the bullpen, and there's no sense in second guessing. It's absurd to think that he should throw anything else other than the pitch that got him here.
Morandini is running the pitch up ball. The throw not in time. And Mickey Morandini has a stolen base.
Tremendous jump by Morandini. Greg Maddux gets the ball quickly to home, and the throw, a pretty good pitch to handle for Damon Berryhill. Watch, it's right around the shoulders, but nothing Berryhill can do. Morandini in there easily.
Well, the only weakness in Maddox's game is that he is not very good at holding runners on. He's a tremendous fielder, a Gold Glove winner among National League pitchers. Greg admits that holding runners on is an area in which he's going to have to improve. Ball inside the Kruk, and he's in the driver's seat at 3-0. His on-base percentage during the regular season, .430. Only Barry Bonds reached base more often in the National League.
John Kruk, also a guy that Jim Fregosi gives the hit sign to on 3-0. On this count, you have to be very selective, however.
And he was laid off the pitch high and away. 2 men on with 1 out for Philadelphia in the bottom of the first. The Braves lead 2-0 on a home run by Fred McGriff.
One thing that helps Maddux in a situation like this, it doesn't help Tommy Green in double play situations, but it does Greg Maddux because he is a ground ball pitcher. Only Bill Swift of the Giants had a higher rate of ground balls to flyouts. So Maddux will get the double play when he needs it.
Dave Hollins, the batter. That's the 5th straight ball thrown by Maddux. Hollins, a switch hitter, batting from his weaker side of the plate. He had .273 overall for the year.
And he's deep. Look how deep Mark Lemke is. Fred McGriff also, for that matter. Braves playing Dalton around to left in the outfield and to pull on the infield.
Maddox is struggling with his control here in the first inning. 3-1 the count on Dalton. Should he reach, Jim Eisenreich would bat next. Maddox is 27 years old. 6 feet, 175 pounds, from Las Vegas. He deals the 3-1 right down the middle, and the count is full with 2 outs. The runners will be off with a payoff pitch. Take off. The payoff pitch is strike 3. A fastball that froze Dalton. The first strikeout of the night gets Maddox out of the inning. After 1, 2-0 Atlanta.
Over 2 million vacationers visited historic Philadelphia last year. Not one of them, however, was a Lexus engineer. Why? Let's just say they were busy. The 1994 Lexus ES. Improved, revised, refined, embellished. In a word, new.
I love
love this place. It's the new Burger King Everyday Value Menu with big Flame Broiled burgers for only 99 cents.
I can't do it myself for 99 cents.
Your favorite Burger King foods at new lower everyday prices, like the croissant combo served hot and fresh for $1.99. Check your Burger King Everyday Value Menu and be sure to try the delicious Flame Broiled Whopper Combo for $2.99.
That's great news for my pocketbook.
Value every day. Have it your way.
You're gonna want to come back every day.
What do you mean I can't do that?
Please, don't pull that on me now.
I'm pressing enter.
You're the computer. You tell me where the file is.
Huh?
Don't just sit there blinking.
Enter. I'm gonna give this to you, but I want it back.
The idea of talking to a computer is certainly not a new one.
Open status report.
Getting a response certainly is. The new Desk Pro with business audio from Compaq.
At the Mutual of Omaha Companies, we understand that the well-being of the individual often depends on the strength of the group. That's why our healthcare plans are designed to meet the specific needs of both. Mutual of Omaha, managed healthcare plans to protect your changing world.
Tonight, Tracy Ullman and Don Hockey Puck Rickles. Plus,
free beverages available at the refreshment tent.
Tonight on CBS.
Tim told you about the Gary Maddox error 15 years ago today. Here's what it led to.
One open. It's all over at this time. For a base hit. Ron Savy waved in. It's all over. The tip by Maddox. The Dodgers win the pennant again.
Bill Russell with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th inning. Game 4. Knocked in Ron Say with a winning run. The Dodgers won their second consecutive National League title.
And if the pitcher looked familiar to you, well, he threw out the first pitch in last night's game. Tug McGraw, the Tugger, Rum Tum Tugger.
Terry Pendleton looks familiar. 1-1 the count. He's beginning the second against Tommy Green. The Braves batting with a 2-0 lead, courtesy of a Fred McGriff first inning home run. Of course, the Braves in search of their third consecutive National League pennant. Trying to become the first team to do that since the Cardinals of 1942, 43, and 44.
Yeah,
a young catcher named Tim McCarver was just breaking in.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Yes. You're not as sorry
Real
once
sorry.
you heard what I had to say.
That's what I meant. I was being facetious. The Cardinals winners of 3 pennants in 1942, 3, and 4. And if Atlanta wins it this year, it'll be the first time since 1944 that a team in the National League won 3 consecutive pennants. The Braves have been in 6 World Series in their history. 2 with Boston, 2 with Milwaukee, 2 with Atlanta. And the Philadelphia Phillies have appeared in 4 World Series, winning only 1 back in 1980. That's in 110 years. They won 1 World Championship.
So you're saying the reason we had the picture of Stan the Man instead of you was that those Cardinal teams were actually a little bit before your time?
I am indeed saying that.
2-2 the count. Tommy Green, a native of North Carolina, proud of his rural roots, and his teammates call him Jethro. Just about everybody on this Philadelphia team has a nickname, some more flattering than others, some really not the least bit flattering. Out of play again. Pendleton, then Berryhill and Lemke, batters 6, 7, and 8 coming up against Green.
There is a real connection, talking about Tommy Green, between Tommy Green and the pitching coach of the Braves, Leo Mazzoni. Green pitched for Mazzoni 3 different classifications in the minor leagues: Sumter, South Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina, and Richmond, Virginia. And Green gives Mazzoni a ton of credit for his success in the major leagues. As a matter of fact, when he pitched a no-hitter a couple of years ago, Tommy Green said that Leo Mazzoni was the #1 guy to be credited for his development in the big leagues.
He said Leo was the first man he thought of as he stood on the mound having pitched a no-hitter against Montreal, because Leo had teased him so many times about not being able to finish off no-hitters in the minors. Twice while Mazzoni was Green's pitching coach in the minors, Tommy took a no-hitter into the 9th and lost it. He also lost a perfect game in the 8th inning. Two and two, the count on Pendleton. With his appearance in this game, Terry Pendleton has now appeared in 28 League Championship Series games in the National League, and that ties Pete Rose for the record. Another 2-2. Base hit. After fouling off a couple of 2-2 pitches, Pendleton singles through the left side.
That is a great at bat by a good hitter. He fouled off tough, high and tight pitches, and now gets on top of the high fastball and hits it hard to left. Pendleton with more opposite field hits, 61, than any other hitter in the National League this year.
So for the second time in as many innings, the Braves have the first man on. Nixon led off last inning with a walk and scored on the McGriff homer. 2-0 Braves. Damon Berryhill the hitter. Down to first. Fair ball. Kruk a nice diving backhand play reaching across his body. And the only out he could record was at first. Pendleton in a scoring position with 1 out. An excellent play by Kruk.
That's all John Kruk could do, was tag the bag when he was down around it. Nice play by John. Barely fair. This is actually the home plate umpire Frank Pulley's call, because the ball is not past first base. The home plate umpire has it before first or third, and then the third base or first base umpire has it on a ball over the bag.
Mark Lemke the hitter. He looked at a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Lemke at .252 during the regular season. And the breaking ball missed. 1-1 on Lemke. Tommy Green, originally a first-round draft pick of the Atlanta Braves back in June of 1985. He was traded to Philadelphia in August of 1990 with Dale Murphy for Jeff Parrott, Jim Vatcher, and Victor Rosario. Bobby Cox told us before the game it wasn't that the Braves didn't think highly of Green's ability, but he was out of options to be sent back down to the minors. And he wasn't going to make their pitching staff, so they felt they could get something of value in return for him. They would do it, and they did. And Green in turn is grateful for the trade, because he realizes that it would have been much more difficult to establish himself as a major league pitcher competing for a spot in the Braves rotation than it was for him to get started as a major leaguer with the Phillies. On the corner, excellent pitch, and the count is full on Lemke.
Brings us back to the conversation we had with Jim Fregosi yesterday. He said that's how a lot of young pitchers are acquired right now. That you wait until they develop in other organizations, wait until they're out of options, and then pick them up. And that's what happened to Tommy Green.
In the air to left, and Thompson is a long way to go, still running back to the warning track to make the catch. Lemke hit it a long way to the opposite field, and Thompson was playing in shallow, and he was able to run it down to the warning track just in front of the 371 mark.
Yeah, the loft of the ball gave him a chance to get back on it. Thompson, an excellent outfielder. He made what could have been a game-saving play on the double hit by Greg Olson in last night's game. Nice play by Milt Thompson. Terry Pendleton halfway on that ball. You don't want to tag up. If the ball hits the base of the wall, Pendleton may only get to third base. You got to go halfway on a ball like that.
Now Maddox, who hit 165 during the regular season. He had 15 hits in 91 at-bats and drove in 4 runs. Of course, it was Steve Avery who provided much of the Atlanta offense last night as the starting pitcher. He had a double and a single and scored a run. Maddox fouls it off to the right side. He's behind 0-2. This is an off day in the American League Championship Series as they travel to Toronto. Tomorrow night, Game 3 of the ALCS from Skydome. Frank Thomas will be starting at first base, having DH'd in the first 2 games, and Bo Jackson, we are told, will be in the lineup as the DH. That's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Blue Jays lead that best-of-7 series 2 games to none. The White Sox have their work cut out for them, and they might be happy to be out of Chicago, where they can barely get noticed with the retirement of Michael Jordan, the firing yesterday of Cubs manager Jim Lefebvre. Now the 1-2 to Maddox. Struck him out with the breaking ball. Second strikeout for Tommy Green. It ends the inning after an inning and a half in Philadelphia. 2-0 Atlanta.
It has a computer-controlled safety system, but it isn't an F-15 fighter. It has gold-plated connectors for longer life, but it isn't a deep space probe. It cost hundreds of millions of dollars to develop its technology. But it can be yours starting at around $13,000. It's the 1994 Toyota Corolla. You can't buy a more impressive car for less.
Hitachi. Oh, wait, that's my phone.
I'll connect you now.
Bonjour, here are the drawings.
Looks good from here. Hello.
Okay, thanks.
Goodbye. Take care.
Au revoir.
Hitachi makes digital communication systems and 20,000 other amazing products. Hitachi.
Coming over the hill, Sarge.
Hit the lights, boys!
Bigfoot!
2 square feet of pizza and a tasty new crust, all for $10.99. Bigfoot Pizza, the biggest pizza you can get delivered.
With DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard, it's easy to make it happen.
You know, when I was growing up, I had to face problems just like kids today. Luckily, I spent most of my free time at the Boys and Girls Club. Children need positive alternatives from drugs and violence. That's where the Boys and Girls Clubs of America comes in. They offer solid, no-nonsense programs that work. I should know. It worked for me. Please join Major League Baseball in supporting the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, the positive place for kids.
A message from Major League Baseball.
All hitters, regardless of where they start, must close the front side. You have to hit against the front side of the body, and watch how Terry Pendleton goes into the fastball to pop it to left field for a hit.
First pitch of the home half of the second. The ball to Jim Eisenreich. Little chopper out in front of the plate. Maddox applies the tag. 1 out. Phillies trail 2-0 as they bat against Maddox. I mentioned he was the Gold Glove among pitchers in the National League last year, but he's made a bunch of errors this season, 7 of them, and his Gold Glove could well be in jeopardy at the expense of one of his teammates. Bobby Cox talking before the game tonight about the fielding prowess of John Smoltz and Tom Glavine. In addition to Maddox, Milt Thompson, the hitter.
One thing about Maddox, though, he gets to a lot of balls that most pitchers wouldn't get to. He has led, as you saw in that graphic, led the National League in putouts for the last 5 years. That breaks Grover Cleveland Alexander's record of 4 straight years back in the middle teens, 1914 to 1917. He also led the National League pitchers in assists with 59 and chances with 98. So he is very much involved in his own game.
As you were saying. 2 outs. That'll bring up Kevin Stocker. Yesterday we talked about his poise. Tim McCarver spoke with Kevin about it.
I think a lot of it has been, you know, playing up through my college years. I had a chance to play with a good coach who was big on the basics and fundamentals, and also I just think that I've learned through playing up through the years that the quicker you learn it, the quicker you can move. And being young like me, and I really wanted to make an impact in spring training and so forth. So I made it a point to make sure that I never had to be told something twice. So, you know, if I go out there and make a mistake, I better not make the same mistake twice. So I make sure I listen.
So it does take more than physical ability to play in the big leagues.
He's pretty sharp, as is his sister Jill, who is in attendance here tonight. Kevin's sister Jill is his twin sister, and she is a Harvard graduate. Working in marketing in the Washington, D.C. area. Kevin Stocker's parents are in from Spokane to watch the game tonight. He's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Stocker was 0 for 3 last night, having been intentionally walked his first time up. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the second. The Braves lead 2-0. Fred McGriff hit a mammoth home run in the top of the first. Very close with 2 strikes, but called the ball. 2-2 on Stocker. Caught by the shortstop Blauser. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Maddox. After 2 at the vet, 2-0 Atlanta.
Not so complicated, as simple as can be. You're always a comfort to set my spirit free.
I want this to be the final battle.
Critics call it a masterpiece. Could be the film of the decade. 4 stars, a towering achievement. Awesome, jaw-dropping, a major event. Gettysburg is extraordinary. Martin Sheen and Jeff Daniels give Oscar-worthy performances. The big screen spectacular of the fall. Gettysburg, rated PG. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
If you want a truck built in the USA and loaded with options, you've got options. If you want sports stripes, chrome package, jump seats with 3-point seat belts, AM/FM radio, split bench, sliding rear window, and more, for savings up to $850, you've got options. But if you want all that plus the #1 truck line in customer satisfaction, you've got no options. Toyota trucks, you just gotta love them.
Will a crash course in sensitivity help the gang get along?
Don't we want to learn to be sensitive to other people?
Put a plug in it. All new Murphy Brown. Then, ladies, who would you date? An insecure whiner or a self-centered bore?
These are my choices. This is why I live with a cat.
All new Love and War after Murphy Brown, Monday.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 2 of the National League Championship Series is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. American Airlines, something special in the air. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
The Ironworkers Union here in Philadelphia, I believe it was 401, Ironworkers Union 401, climbed on the top of William Penn's hat. And William Penn, the statue of William Penn atop City Hall here in Philadelphia, and they plopped a Philly hat on top of that other hat.
That's a big hat.
2 big hats up there.
Now, is it true that the locals refer to him as Billy?
Billy Penn. You got it.
We out-of-towners would refer to him as William Penn, but to the locals, he's Billy.
Well, you talked about all the Phillies with nicknames. They even nicknamed William Penn here in Philadelphia. A lot of nicknames in this town.
We could say they're taking liberties with his name.
You could say that, yes.
And that gives you a better
thinkers.
idea of how big that statue is. What did you say?
Independent thinkers.
Yes. Freedom of expression.
Yes.
Line to left and a base hit that falls in front of Milt Thompson. So Nixon is on again. Here's what Doug Drabeck told us recently about Jeff Blauser.
Jeff Blauser. He's a good high fastball hitter. You don't want to leave any breaking balls over the middle of the plate. You need to change your pitch sequences because it's hard to get him out with the same pitch every at bat.
High fastball hitter, but that's what Tommy Green throws, a high fastball. Whenever that is the case, that's when the pitcher challenges into the hitter's strength. Like that. Reminds me of a story of Jim Palmer, the great Oriole pitcher. He was in a meeting before World Series with his pitching coach Ray Miller, and they kept saying everybody was a high fastball hitter, and Palmer left the meeting, and Ray said, "Jim, where are you going?" He said, "That's all I throw is a high fastball." He said, "We're not talking about your fastball, Jim."
Talking about the fastball of mere mortals, but not the likes of Jim Palmer. Braves have the lead man on for the third time in as many innings. Nixon in one game plus the 3 innings tonight has been on base 5 times. He walked and scored on the McGriff homer in the first. His single to left here in the third Atlanta hit of the ball game. They're out hitting the Phillies 3-1. Nixon on the run. The pitch a ball. The throw a good one. And he's out at second.
You could see Darren Dalton with any clue of whether Nixon was going to run or not, even when he was giving the sign. He was putting one finger down for a fastball, looking at Nixon at first base. Watch him look at Nixon. He's looking at Nixon, looking at Nixon, looking at Nixon. Here comes the fastball, a bad pitch to handle, but a perfect throw to nail it.
So one out of the base is now empty. Nixon caught stealing. And the count 1-2 as Green works to Blauser. That's well hit to left. Milt Thompson watches that one fly. Home run, Jeff Blauser. And the Braves lead 3-0.
Hanging curveball to Blauser, the first guy to greet him, Steve Avery. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. First to McGriff and now to Blauser. All of Blauser's 15 home runs during the regular season, by the way, came to left field.
And his 15 home runs led all National League shortstops. It was a great offensive year for Blauser. In hitting .305, he was the first Brave shortstop to hit over 300 since Alvin Dark hit .322 back in 1948. That's line to left by Gant. Thompson has it go over his head and off the base of the wall on the line. Gant on his way to second, and he's there sliding with a double. But Green hasn't fooled anyone. The Braves have had 3 men come to the plate in this inning, and they're lacking only the triple now to hit for the cycle as a team.
Tommy Green, the only time he faced the Braves this year, he shut them out on September 24th. But the Braves are hitting an awful lot of balls hard tonight. Remember, this is the same pitcher who was 10-0 at Veterans Stadium this year, and he had won 13 consecutive regular season games here at Veterans Stadium.
Now Fred McGriff, who had a tremendous home run. It nearly got into the first row of the upper deck in right in the first inning. That was the first of the 2 home runs hit by the Braves tonight. Tommy Green allowed 12 homers this year, but he did not surrender 2 home runs in a game this season. He has done that tonight. We're only in the 3rd. 5 hits for the Braves, 3 of them for extra bases. The 1-0 to McGriff is a breaking ball low. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, the Braves do not have a soft spot in their lineup in the first 6 hitters. You can't pitch around anybody. Pitch around one guy. As formidable a hitter is the next guy. You put McGriff on, Justice is coming up.
Sounded like McGriff broke his bat, and he will head back to the bat rack for another weapon.
In the first inning, with Otis Nixon on at second base, first pitch hitting, Fred McGriff. Wow. You could see the release of the left hand of Fred McGriff. We asked him during the workout a couple of days ago if he was a proponent of Walt Reniak's, the batting instructor of the Chicago White Sox. He said no, but he had read his book. He read Charlie Lau's book. But that whipping action with the right hand over his head is what gives Fred an unusual amount of power. That is a very, very unusual hitting style of McGriff.
The 2-1 pitch is in for strike 2. 2-2 on McGriff. We're in the 3rd, and the Braves lead 3-0 as they try to even the National League Championship Series at 1 win apiece. Fred, the 10th player in Major League history to hit 30 or more home runs in 6 or more consecutive seasons. The all-time record in that area is 12 seasons in a row of 30 or more home runs by Double X Jimmy Fox. Even with Mickey playing in shallow right. Gant goes to 3rd. He had to hold up to see if the ball would be caught. So it's 1st and 3rd, still only 1 out for Atlanta here in the 3rd inning, and that 1 out was made on the caught stealing. All 4 men who have come to the plate this inning have a hit.
Split finger fastball, and you're right, Sean, because Morandini jumps and misses it, you could almost see Tommy Green jumping with Morandini. But Gann had to hold on at second base and advances only to 3rd. But Tommy Green, it looked like Green was jumping with Morandini, trying to give him a little body language. Braves continue to hit a lot of balls hard.
And bullpen action will begin for Philadelphia as David Justice stands in. That's a swing, says Frank Pulley. David Justice didn't think so and wanted Pulley to yield down to Jerry Crawford, but Frank had already made up his mind.
Yeah, the thing is, once the home plate umpire calls the strike, he can't ask for help. But David didn't think he went around, and that was very, very close. He had a good argument. But once the home plate umpire, Frank Pulley, makes the call, it's done.
No appeal process.
Nope.
Justice might want to appeal that decision as well. 0-2 the count on David, who flied to right his first time up, and he's still looking for his first hit in this National League Championship Series. Ron Gant is the runner at 3rd. Fred McGriff is aboard at first. 1 run in here in the 3rd on the Blauser homer. Atlanta leads 3-0. They've out-hit the Phillies 6-1. And it's still 0-2 on Justice. Justice had 40 home runs and 120 runs batted in during the regular season. Only 4 others in Atlanta history have hit 40 or more home runs with 100 or more runs batted in the same season, and that was distinguished company indeed.
You might say, wait a minute, what about Davy Johnson's 43 home runs in 1973? He didn't drive in 100.
Now there's some question as to whether or not Davy will be back as the Cincinnati manager in 1994.
Even speculation that Ray Knight may take over the Cincinnati Reds and Davy Johnson may become one of his coaches. How odd would that be?
Bobby Thigpen is warming up. The 1-2 pitch. High fastball popped out of play left side. Those who follow the Braves and Bobby Cox, the manager, talk about the maturing process of David Justice. He definitely carries himself in a different manner this year. He's much more approachable to the media. And it seems that marriage agrees with him. He is married to the talented actress Halle Berry.
Well, I think we as a society think that baseball players, they sign contracts for multi-million dollars from the ages of 20 to 25 years old. And I think we're a little hard in thinking that they all ought to handle it well. They're all from different backgrounds, different colors and creeds. And it's a matter of maturation for a lot of players. And it's not any different than if you were a banker or someplace else. Only the dollar numbers are different. But that's also makes it very difficult to adjust. You come into all that money that soon.
Halle Berry says occasionally when they are driving to the stadium in Atlanta, she'll pick a fight with David because he plays better when he's a little bit agitated. The 2-2 pitch is another breaking ball low, and Justice has battled from 0-2 to a full count. Tommy Green is pitching to his former roommate. When Green was in the Atlanta organization, his roommate at AAA Richmond was David Justice. The payoff pitch is ball 4 low. McGriff was running from first with a 3-2 pitch and 1 out. So 5 men in a row have reached here in the 3rd. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. Terry Pendleton coming up next. Pendleton single to left, leading off last inning.
With runners in scoring position last year, Terry Pendleton led the majors with the .387 average, but about 160 points lower this year.
Terry is the first to admit that he should have had many more than 84 runs batted in, but didn't because of that batting average with runners in scoring position. The runner at third is Ron Gant. He doubled after the Blauser homer. Fred McGriff singled to right. He's now at second. And David Justice walked to load the bases. The second walk issued by Tommy Green. We're in the top of the 3rd. The Braves lead 3-0 with a chance to break it wide open. Change of speeds fooled Pendleton 0-2.
It's very difficult when Tommy Green's in a situation like this because he doesn't rely on the ground ball. He throws a lot of fly balls. The one thing he can do, however, is strike a hitter out, and that's what he's trying to do to Pendleton.
The 0-2 pitch. It nearly hit him.
Might have gone through him. Wow. Self-preservation right there.
Of course, there was a lot of talk earlier in the year about Pendleton's weight. And he was hitting under 200 in early May. Some said it was because he was too heavy. He had a few more pounds on his frame right now. He'd be standing at first base. The Braves would have another run, but he wouldn't be feeling too well. Now the 1-2 pitch. Rounding ball, base hit right field. Gant is in. They'll send McGriff. Eisenreich with the throw, not in time. It's 5-0 Atlanta. And here comes Jim Fregosi. The only man retired in this inning was Otis Nixon on a caught stealing. And Bobby Thigpen will come on for the Phillies.
This is a credit card, so it's gold. Yahoo! I mean, no card is more accepted on the planet, but it doesn't make you some kind of celebrity. Actually, maybe it could. I mean, with Gold MasterCard's new Master Guest service, you can get free personal vacation planning assistance. The celebrities always have personal assistants. Master Guest can even save you up to 30% on great vacation packages. And celebrities are always getting special deals, so I guess Gold MasterCard could make you a celebrity. See you in the tabloids. Gold MasterCard, it's more than a gold card, it's smart money.
On October 15th,
We do it.
it's a brand new start
I ain't going nowhere.
in a brand new town.
Hey, good as off. That's real nice. This here's what I carry.
Now, Beverly Hills isn't changing the Clampetts, but they're sure changing Beverly Hills.
There's a fresh kill in the road. Road kill stew sounds mighty good right now.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
I'm sure there's enough for us all.
Rated PG. Special sneak previews Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, luge competition or bowling?
Luge. Bowling.
Okay, we'll watch bowling.
Miller Lite presents Luge Bowling. Cool. Boy, is he fast.
He better be, Bob, because here come those bowling balls.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything.
He's got the angle. Oh, no, it's a 7-10 split.
Oh, nice pickup.
Great taste, less filling. Can your baby do this?
In the top of the third, Atlanta leads 5-0 here at the vet. Sean McDonough with Tim McCarver, and it wasn't easy being Green tonight.
No, it really wasn't. Only the second time that Tommy Green has been knocked out as early as he was tonight. Only one other time earlier, and that was here at Veterans Stadium. Tommy Green, 2 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And I think the main problem tonight, he was wild in the strike zone as opposed to Curt Schilling last night, who was not wild in the strike zone. He was hitting the corners, and Green was throwing a lot of balls down the middle of the plate.
So it's Bobby Thigpen on in relief with runners at first and third. Still only 1 out, 3 runs in this inning. And here's Thigpen. Justice the runner at third, Pendleton at first. Damon Berryhill the batter, and that's a foul ball out of play to the left. Berryhill bounced to the first baseman Kruk, unassisted his first time up. Thigpen, the former Chicago White Sox standout reliever. He has struggled in recent years.
Matter of fact, he has gone downhill since 1990. 57 saves, an all-time major league record in 90. And look at the earned run average, how it's creeped up while the number of saves has gone down. Perhaps being overused in 1990. Sometimes when you go for too many records in baseball, you pay the price later.
He led the league in 1990 with 77 appearances. That's outside. 1-2. 2-2 now on Berryhill. The infield at double play depth. The outfield plays Berryhill slightly to pull. And that's a rocket to right. He pulled it and then some. Over the fence for a 3-run homer. And the rout is on here in the 3rd inning as Atlanta takes an 8-0 lead. It's the 3rd home run of the night for the Braves. A 2-run homer by McGriff in the 1st. A solo shot by Blauser here in the 3rd. And now this 3-run home run by Berryhill.
Bobby Thigpen trying to come inside to Berryhill, but he misses out over the plate. I mean, Berryhill crushes it. One of the interesting things about this inning is that no Brave has made an out from the plate. The only out that was made, Otis Nixon was caught stealing for the only out in this inning after he had singled to get on.
Nixon started the inning with a single and then was thrown out stealing. Then Blauser hit the solo home run. Gant doubled. McGriff singled. Justice walked to load the bases. Pendleton singled to drive in 2. And then Berryhill hit the 3-run homer. 2 of those 3 runs on the home run charge to Green. Tommy surrendered 7 earned runs in 2 1/3 tonight. Lemke, the 8th batter of the inning. Mark flied to left last inning. To deep left. He sent Milt Thompson back to the base of the wall. And Lemke strikes out. And the mock cheer goes up from the crowd here. That's the 2nd out of the inning. And that brings up Greg Maddux, who struck out swinging against Green last inning.
Only last year, Bobby Thigpen, a crosstown rival from Greg Maddux, or with Greg Maddux. Thigpen pitching for the White Sox and Maddux with the Chicago Cubs.
Check swing, no swing, says Terry Tata. Maddux ahead 2-0. Greg left the Cubs as a free agent after last season. Signed a 5-year contract with the Braves worth $28 million. He actually turned down an offer of about $6 million more over the same span of 5 years from the New York Yankees, because he said he wanted to pitch for a winner. Up the middle, Morandini, a nice diving backhand stop, and from his knees he threw him out. 6 runs in the 3rd for Atlanta, and we'll return to Veterans Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
Down below us ought to be farmland.
Harry Smith.
What do we see right over here?
Paula Zahn.
You live with the man who happens to be your boss. We're back in the Rose Garden again, live with President Clinton.
And Mark McEwen.
Would you ever play Psycho Tom Cruise?
CBS This Morning. Breakfast for your head.
How much romance can you stand?
So where's it taking you? Sit down.
How much passion can you take?
Corn nuts?
Okay.
Northern Exposure is for lovers, all new Monday.
This is CBS.
Here's a camera tip. In order to get a nice steady picture, one that doesn't jiggle or bounce around, remember, it's important your camera be mounted on a solid object specially designed to minimize vibration. Dodge Intrepid, running at, let's say, 85 miles an hour, would be a particularly good choice. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
My years in football taught me the value of a great health plan. Hello, I'm Dick Vermeil. Everyday life has its bumps and bruises, too. And that's why Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield have added the new personal choice to our game plan.
There's no need to enroll with a primary care physician, and you don't need a referral to see a specialist. Office visits are covered, and there are no claim forms. Now, what could be easier?
Call 1-800-ASK-BLUE for all the benefits of personal choice. The health plan that controls cost, not people.
Don't you have anything to fit me?
No offense, Mr. Jones, but you are a little on the small side.
I need more choices.
Harry, give me those genuine yellow pages. Look, choices. Italian, Greek, Chinese. You want more?
Those are restaurants.
That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see us.
9 out of 10 use it.
Mr. Matterhorn.
A genuine New Jersey Bell yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Are you losing weight?
Fake Phillies wear. A Herb Denenberg focus investigation after the game.
Sean McDonough with Tim McCarver and Pat O'Brien.
Cody.
Back at the vet.
Hey, Kyle. I love you.
That's Steve Bedrosian, Braves pitcher, saying hello to his sons Cody and Kyle. His 6-year-old son Cody is battling leukemia. It was in remission for about 6 months, but has returned, and Cody is undergoing chemotherapy treatments. The good news is the bone marrow from Kyle will work out nicely, and there'll be a transplant in a month or so. And all of us at CBS send our best wishes along to Cody and Kyle and Steve and Tammy Bedrosian. The batter is Tony Longmire, pinch hitting for the pitcher Thigpen. He spent most of the year at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. He was recalled on August 31st, just in time to be eligible for the postseason roster, and he runs well. That's a big reason why Jim Fregosi kept him on the postseason roster.
Varying reasons that players want to win and get to the World Series. We saw Curt Schilling, the seat that he left for his father, who passed away 5 years ago. And Steve Bedrosian wants to get to the World Series to dedicate the World Series for Cody Bedrosian.
Lenny Dykstra took a strike. And another 0-2 on Dykstra, who flied to center.
I guess for the eternal optimist, you could say that the Phillies won 50 games in which they trailed at some time during the game during the season. That was the most in the majors. A little tough against this pitching staff of the Braves, however, but they did win a game in which they trailed 8-0. That was back on April 26th when they were playing the San Francisco Giants, and they beat the Giants in 10 innings, 9-8.
Strike 3, Dykstra called out on strikes. And that'll bring up Mickey Morandini, who once upon a time pulled off an unassisted triple play.
That was against Pittsburgh, and you might notice that guy running to second. He will probably be the National League most valuable player, Barry Bonds.
That was the 9th unassisted triple play in baseball history last September.
And the first ever by a second baseman in the National League.
He's out on the line drive to center, and the Phillies go in order in the 3rd.
Toyota proudly presents All-Around Champions. A hero possesses exceptional qualities: kindness, greatness, the ability to grant special wishes. To many, Dave Justice is a hero. The time he spends at hospitals signing autographs and providing inspiration can make any child a believer. So much so, it's hard to tell who's the hero and who's the admirer. Toyota is proud to assist Dave by contributing $1,000 to the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities.
no matter how far the journey. The need to make it home is basic, instinctual, undeniable. The 1994 Toyota 4Runner. For the way there, for the way back.
I don't say this to many people, but the job we do is the most important job I can think of.
Okay, guys, listen up.
I mean, there's no such thing as a B-plus mechanic on this airline.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Even the most junior mechanic can keep an airplane in this hangar if there's a hint of a problem. We might think a job like this would become routine, but every now and then, I just take a walk through the terminal, and right there, you see what's important.
Fred's my AT&T sales rep.
The country gives me the creeps, but I came out here to tell Jan about AT&T's Maximum Advantage.
Everything about it is simple, except running it.
Maximum Advantage doesn't work for you. You're automatically enrolled. You get AT&T's best service at our lowest price guaranteed. We'll look at your calling patterns quarterly and make new recommendations. Jan, with our international fax and calling plans for our 800 service, you could be hosting the whole world that you're in.
Hi.
We're the Raskins. Ah, welcome.
Fred really knows my business. I'm sure I could get him up here full time.
This game summary is sponsored by AT&T.
After 3 innings, the Braves have built an 8-0 lead on the strength of 3 home runs, a 2-run homer by McGriff, a solo shot by Blauser, and a 3-run blast by Berryhill. The 2-run homer by McGriff was in the first inning. The other 6 runs scored by Atlanta tonight came in the third. So we head to the fourth. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Braves, no runs, 1 hit for the Phillies. Big Ben Rivera on the mound. And his first pitch, a breaking ball that missed to Otis Nixon.
Rivera, for the most part, a starter for the Phillies this year. 13-9, formerly with the Braves. So we talked about Tommy Green being with the Braves. Ben Rivera the same way. And we go back once again to Jim Fragosi's comment. Once they're out of options, the Braves liked Ben Rivera. They didn't like him quite as much as Green, but they liked him. He was on the roster. And he ran out of options, and the Phillies picked him up. Bienvenida Rivera.
Ben to his friends.
Well, bienvenido is welcome in Spanish, so a welcome to postseason play for Ben. Huh?
Yes, indeed. And we also welcome 1,000 feet above the city of brotherly love, the 194-foot-long Bud 1 airship. It's using its eye in the sky camera to bring you the scenic shots that we are seeing tonight. Looking down at a very quiet Veteran Stadium, a crowd of 62,000 expected, a sellout on hand. They've watched the Braves build an 8-0 lead. They just watched Otis Nixon reach for the 3rd time in as many plate appearances tonight. Blauser out on the fly ball to center. Nixon returns to first. Blauser now 1 for 3. With the solo home run last inning. Bobby Thigpen pitched 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 1 run on 1 hit, the Berryhill homer. He struck out 1. He is indeed big, Ben Rivera, 6'6", 230 pounds. Only 25 years old is Rivera. His breaking ball in the dirt, and a good block by Dalton shifting to his right.
Over the years, it has been considered unethical for baseball players to run with a big lead. Well, in my opinion, it's quite ethical for the Braves to continue to try to tack on runs. And that's why I think John Kruk is holding Nixon on, because the Phillies are more than capable, even though Maddox is a great pitcher.
And with a pop-up in shallow right for Eisenreich. 2 down.
But I don't think in the 4th inning with an 8-run lead, it's time to turn off the faucets if you're an Atlanta Braves player. It used to be if at any time during the game you had a 6 to 10 run lead, regardless of when it was, that it was unethical to run. But I'm recalling Whitey Herzog's line when he told Lee Elia, he said, if you tell me you're not going to try to score and catch us, I won't run.
I doubt Lee went along with that.
No, he did not.
Fred McGriff 2 for 2 tonight. He had a 2-run homer in the first. He singled and scored in the third.
Lee at that time was the manager of the Chicago Cubs. Lee, the bench coach for Lou Piniella and the Seattle Mariners this year, and Whitey Herzog, general manager of the California Angels.
That's out of play. With 6 consecutive hits last inning, the Braves tied a league championship series record set by the Yankees versus Oakland in 1981. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, there was a walk to justice mixed in there, but according to the rules, a walk does not terminate the consecutive hit streak, nor does a hit by pitch or a sacrifice bunt. So it does go into the books as 6 consecutive hits for the Braves, tying the league championship series record. Interestingly, a sacrifice fly does terminate such a streak. The 1-2 from Rivera to McGriff is a check swing. Ben wants an appeal. No swing, says Jerry Crawford. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on McGriff.
Did Fred McGriff go too far? No way. Not even close.
Of course, the biggest reason Cecil Fielder left the Toronto Blue Jays and went to Japan was that Fred McGriff was playing ahead of him. When they were together with Toronto, they played cribbage with each other. And McGriff strikes out. To the bottom of the 4th, 8-0 Braves.
The philosophy I took the field with every day was play. I was born to play. I don't think I ever looked at it as a job. I'm here because baseball was a passion to me, and I think that's really what it has to be. I've been a member of the Hall of Fame since 1983, and American Express card member since 1986. It's been around for a long time, and I know that it's going to work.
American Express is welcomed in Cooperstown and a lot of other big league towns.
Besides being an educator, Jim Elkins is a collector of antiques and an occasional Montana trout. Having owned a dozen Toyota cars, Jim naturally made the T100 his first Toyota truck. Your typical big truck owner? No. But then the T100 is not your typical truck. Observe the Detroit Free Press. The cabin reminds one of the Toyota Camry in equipment and comfort. The Toyota T100 puts you in a whole new class.
Hey, dragger racing!
We wanted to watch the dog show.
Okay, we can watch both. Sunday, Miller Lite presents the Wiener Dog Winter Nationals. It's Muffy versus Dogzilla. And here they come, Bob. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything. And Muffy takes it. That's one fast Wiener Dog. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
This is good beer. Hi there, I'm Dave Thomas, and I'd like one of those Monterey Ranch chicken sandwiches, please.
Hi, I'm Dave Thomas.
I'd like a Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich.
When we stopped making our Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich, people tried everything to get one. Well, it's back, so now you can just be yourself.
Hi, I'm Dave Thomas.
The year 2032, in a peaceful world, 2 mortal enemies from another time will be unleashed.
I've dreamed about killing you for 40 years. Keep dreaming.
Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Demolition Man. Rated R.
Starts Friday, October 8th. Sunday on CBS.
Emmett Smith's back in the end zone for the Cowboys.
But the Colts' defense is very aggressive.
Great interconference matchup.
We're big fans.
John Kruk is certainly happy to be in the playoffs, but he told us success does have its downside.
It's been the most fun I've ever had. But, you know, it's been the hardest. It's been the most painstaking, fun year I've ever had because it's been a blast winning the division, but it's a hassle. Because, you don't realize it, but when you're real bad, when your team's real bad, you can go do whatever you want. But then all of a sudden you become good, and you can't go anywhere. You can't go eat, you can't go nowhere. I mean, you try to stop somewhere and have a beer on the way home, you're there all night, signing autographs and everything. So, you know, it was more fun off the field when we were bad, but it's a lot more fun on the field now.
Never mind being a guest on Letterman. We got to find another time slot, give John his own show, I think.
I think that would be quite appropriate. John Kruk signed as a pro when he was 18 years old. It was the first time he left Kaiser, West Virginia. And one of his great quotes, he said it was the first time he met anyone he hadn't met before.
Well, he was 155 pounds when he graduated from high school, and he went to junior college close to Kaiser, about 20 minutes away from his home. And he was a point guard on the basketball team in junior college. And from what we were told, a pretty good point guard. Slowly up the middle and a base hit. A seeing eye single in the right center field for John Kruk. That's just the second Philadelphia hit of the night.
Well, we talked last night about Philly cheesesteak. Well, there it is at the top of the menu.
As you might expect in Philadelphia. I don't see scrapple, that Philadelphia staple that you were telling us about last night.
I do not think that scrapple is on the bill of fare here in Philadelphia at the stadium.
Is that scrapple?
I
Maybe
don't
they're
know.
hiding the scrapple from the paying customers and having it for themselves, which wouldn't be very nice of those concession stand folks.
Remember, I told you last night that scrapple goes best with eggs. So I don't think scrapple and eggs at what, 9:35 Eastern time would be appetizing at this hour. You'd have to wait till morning to have it.
Dave Hollins, the batter. Now, you did tell us that scrapple goes well with eggs.
Right.
But you really kind of dropped the ball.
I didn't drop the ball.
In terms of telling us what scrapple is.
No, I didn't drop the ball. It's
you just didn't tell us.
I said it was made out of part of the hog.
The intestines.
That's right. That's right.
But people like it here in Philadelphia, you said. We had a scrapple company send us 9 pounds of scrapple today. They even sent us their hat. Would it be a cheap plug? We're looking for scrapple, by the way. Our camera crew is in search of a concession stand with scrapple, and they will not rest until they find it. They'll be walking a long time, I think. Hollins, the batter. There's a deep drive to right. Two-run homer for Dave Hollins. And the Atlanta lead is cut to 8-2.
Some pitchers find it difficult to pitch with a big lead, but hitters find it easier to hit when they're behind by a lot. And the reason is most of the pitches that you get are predictable. A pitcher can't fool around with you. 2-0, he's more inclined to challenge you. And Dave Hollins was challenged, and he hits a 2-run shot out of here. Dave with 18 home runs on the year.
Maddox gave up 14 long balls during the regular season. Still nobody out. 8-2 Atlanta in the fourth. And here's Darren Dalton. Maddox struck Dalton out, ending the first. 2-0, and for the first time tonight, the crowd is into it. Down to first, bobbled by McGriff. And he recovered in time to get it to Maddox for the out. 1 out in the fourth.
So you remember how tough Maddox pitched Darren Dalton his first time up. He threw him a 2-1 changeup, then a 3-2 fastball, setting him up. Well, the count was 2 balls and no strikes, and Dalton got a fastball to hit, and he hit it hard, but right at Fred McGriff. And that was my point about it being easier to hit when you're way behind, but tougher to pitch because of the fact that you have to give in to the hitter more.
Jim Eisenreich hit a tapper along the first baseline that Maddox fielded, and Grant tagged Jim out, leading off the second. Ball 1 low to Eisenreich. Eisenreich, as many of his fans around the country are well aware, is a great story and courage. He was out of professional baseball for 2 whole years as he dealt with Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome, for those who aren't familiar with it, is a disorder that occasionally causes those afflicted to have uncontrollable gestures or twitches. Occasionally they'll blurt out words involuntarily. And that was a problem that plagued Eisenreich for a while, caused him to leave professional baseball for 2 full years. But he battled back, as he said, "I never lost sight of my dream." And that dream has culminated in a trip to the postseason. He has just been called out on strikes for the 2nd out here in the 4th.
Yeah, for those 2 years, as a matter of fact, 1985 and 1986, he played for a semi-pro team in his hometown of St. Cloud, Minnesota, the St. Cloud Saints. And here he is in postseason play.
Milt Thompson, the batter. He bounced back to the mound in the 2nd. Shattered the bat. Lemke has to hurry, and he threw him out. The Phillies get 2 on the Hollins home run. We head to the 5th. 8-2 Atlanta.
Look at that glove.
Broncos, Cherokees, Pathfinders, any pickup or 4x4, on road or off. Introducing the tough new LTX Light Truck Series from Michelin.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Better try something else. Mine really works.
You'd better try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it more than all leading brands. Selsun Blue. Doctor recommended #1.
In the 80s, a lot of companies invested their pension funds in questionable real estate. Unfortunately, that's life. In the 80s, we invested most of our pension funds in investment-grade bonds. That's New York Life. New York Life, the company you keep.
Senior year. Thought I knew it all. For tough headaches, I took Tylenol. Today I take Advil. See, Tylenol didn't always get rid of all the pain. Back then, my doctor prescribed some medicine that really helped. The same medicine I can get in non-prescription strength in Advil. For my tough headaches, 2 Advil work better than 2 Tylenol gel caps. These days, when a tough headache starts, I take what works better for me. Advil.
And for a cold, try Advil Cold and Sinus, advanced formula for the cold season.
You're unbelievable. You're so unbelievable.
The Atlanta Braves win it. This season is over.
You're unbelievable.
A message from Major League Baseball.
There are those who say David Justice should be the National League MVP. We asked David about that.
It's unfair, really, to try to pick an MVP off of our team because we have such a great team, you know. There's no way that I could have had as good a season, or Ronnie, or Freddie, if Blauser and Otis weren't getting on in front of us, you know. It all trickles down. And those guys get on base, Ronnie gets a hit, now I have an opportunity with me in a scoring position. Ronnie was able to get good pitches because of Freddie. Freddie was able to get good pitches because got a guy with 40 home runs hitting behind him. I was able to get it because I got the National League batting title guy behind me. So I think to pick a MVP off of our team, I don't think I was MVP. And if I was voted it, I mean, my whole acceptance speech would be built around the Atlanta Braves team.
Well said.
We were talking earlier about no soft spots in the first 6 spots in the order. And that's what David was saying, and the Braves have proven it tonight. They have just exploded against Tommy Green and Bobby Thigpen.
Now Terry Pendleton, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. He drove in 2 runs with his single in the 3rd. He has scored a run tonight. Good breaking ball by Rivera. A ball and a strike on Pendleton. Rivera was with Atlanta last year. Broke into the big leagues in 1992 with the Braves. And was traded to Philadelphia in May for Donnie Elliott, who moved along to San Diego in the Fred McGriff trade. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing and a foul ball out of play.
Notice that fastball inside. That's the best time to pitch the fastball on the inside part of the plate. And the better the hitter, the more you're inclined to jam hitters with 2 strikes. The reason is hitters protect the outside part of the plate. The good hitters do, though they're vulnerable in tight. I think a lot of pitchers in this country grow up thinking that a curveball with 2 strikes, that's the best time to throw it. You find out once you become a big league pitcher that with 2 strikes on a hitter, the fastball is the best pitch to throw, generally speaking.
2-2 is the count on Pendleton. Damon Berryhill is on deck. We're in the 5th, and the Braves lead 8-2. The night dominated by the home run ball. Braves have hit 3 home runs, and Philadelphia 1. Lost the bat as the ball went back in the same direction. That went in the Phillies dugout. Landed at the feet of Jim Fregosi. Boy, it's tough dugout duty for Jim. You might recall during the All-Star game in Baltimore, he was one of the National League coaches and got hit by a sharply struck foul ball.
Foul ball and the old switching of the bat trick by Jim Fregosi.
Not a nice way for Pendleton to treat his former manager. There's a deep drive to right. That's an even ruder way for Terry Pendleton to treat Jim Fregosi, who was his skipper in the Cardinals organization at AAA Louisville. 4th home run of the night for Atlanta, and the Braves lead 9-2.
Looks like Terry Pendleton hit that ball with a shovel, digging it right off the ground.
The one guy who hit a bunch of home runs for each of these 2 teams is standing by with Pat O'Brien. Patrick?
398 home runs, the MVP in 82 and 83. Welcome Dale Murphy to our booth, and you played with both of these teams. Who do you root for in this situation?
Well, I was with the Atlanta Braves for some 17 years. Bobby Cox is the guy who got me to the big leagues, so I'll always be an Atlanta Brave. But I'm happy for the Phillies. I mean, I was there for a couple years. They treated me great. Once you get to know Bill Giles, you know, I got a little Philly in me there somewhere.
You know this team and the character of this team. How are they down 7 runs?
Well, this club, I guess the best compliment I could give to the Phillies is I played on a team that lost about 90 games here, and they played hard every game that year, and they didn't play any harder then than they are tonight. They always play hard, so they got a tough assignment tonight with Maddox out there, but they'll keep trying to peck away, I'm sure.
We were talking earlier, and you think this is going to be a close series?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Braves are an excellent team, no weaknesses, and had a great run there at the end. And the Phillies really didn't get a lot of publicity, but that's an excellent club. You win 97 games, so I think it'll go 6 or 7.
Being out of baseball, you get used to it yet?
When you get around the ballpark, you want to get back. But I'm enjoying being home with Nancy and the boys.
Dale Murphy once said that the most fun he ever had was not the years he did his best, but the years his team did the best. Thank you, Dale. Back to you guys.
And some might say that, and it wouldn't be sincere. If you know Dale Murphy at all, you know that really sums up his career to a T. When he retired earlier this year, this game lost one of the classiest men ever to wear a major league uniform.
Dale talking about his 7 boys. His wife is pregnant with their first girl. Due when, Dale? Oh, that's wonderful.
1 week from today. Dale's response. Damon Berryhill, the batter, with a full count.
I guess Dale Murphy's got to feel playing with both clubs. Got to feel like the president at the Army-Navy game. which is played right here in Veterans Stadium.
Yes, indeed it is. Where they still do not serve scrapple, as far as we can tell. By the way, the crew told me to tell you the 9 pounds of scrapple that came from the company
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Feel free to bring that home to Ann tonight after the game. We would not want to diminish your dining experience. He struck him out. Rivera fans Berryhill with the fastball for the second out of the inning. The White Sox try to get back in the American League Championship Series tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, the air time. 8:12 the first pitch from Skydome. How about the performance of Paul Molitor and John Olerud in the first 2 games? Molitor 6 for 9, including 4 hits in game 1. Olerud 4 for 8. And the pressure goes to the young pitchers, Alvarez and Beret, who will work in the next 2 games for Chicago.
We mentioned last night that the Chicago White Sox with the youngest pitching staff in the major leagues. And who is second? Bad news for the National League hitters. The Atlanta Braves have the youngest pitching staff in the National League. So guys like Glavine, Smoltz, Avery, Maddox, they're going to be around for a while.
Good to see that even with his team ahead 9-2, Leo Mazzoni doesn't stop rocking in the Atlanta dugout.
Leo with his lucky Notre Dame t-shirt on underneath his uniform. He discarded it last year, but picked up on it again this year. And he does have 2, not just 1. Which is nice for guys who are sitting next to Leo on the bench.
Who might be getting seasick as he rocks back and forth. Full count now to Lemke with 2 outs. Lemke 0 for 2 tonight. Pitcher Maddox is on deck. Mark sends it down the left field line. Playable for Thompson. A home run by Pendleton in the 5th, and halfway through the ball game, the Braves lead 9-2.
A night out on the town.
I'll be home early, okay? Promise?
A heavy traffic jam.
I hate being late!
And one wrong turn.
What the hell was that? We saw a boy get murdered tonight, and if they catch us, they're gonna kill us too. I get a wife and a little girl, and I will get back to them tonight. Let's show these punks what we got. You better believe it.
Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Dennis Leary. Judgment Night.
You coming?
Rated R. Starts Friday, October 15th at theaters everywhere.
My life isn't about throwing money around. It's about hanging on to it. It's not about owning a $40,000 car. It's about owning a good car. It's not how much something costs that matters to me. It's how well it works. Look, don't tell me what I want. Show me you've got what I need.
Put your heart into it. Be tough. I am not going to pay a lot for this muffler. By George, I think he's got it.
Don't be bullied into paying a lot for a muffler. Now more than ever at Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
I hear the bases are loaded with cheeseburgers at McDonald's. So who's on first? 2 double cheeseburgers for $2. Is it double on first? Double doubles with 2 triples on second for $3. A triple on second? Double triple.
Thanks to McDonald's Double Plays, you can get 2 double cheeseburgers for $2, 2 triple cheeseburgers for $3, and a great deal on a triple cheeseburger extra value meal with Coke and fries.
That's what I said at first. No, at first the 2 double cheeseburgers.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Wednesdays, this October. After the World Series. He's an LA private eye who's just taken on the toughest case of his career.
This is Mr. McMahon. He's bailing you out. McMahon!
His new partner.
Fellas, I just won $1 million. Afro Sheen on me.
Glenn Fry and Aries Spears.
Get the kiss, baby.
Take you south of Sunset. Series premiere Wednesday, October 27th.
Sunday on the NFL Today, join Terry Bradshaw and Jim Nantz for all the latest NFL news, including a look at the leader of America's team, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman. Plus a chat with Phil Simms as he prepares to take the Giants into a crucial NFC East battle with the Redskins That's all Sunday at 12:30 Eastern on the NFL Today. It's all you need to know. Kevin Stocker, the leadoff batter in the bottom of the 5th. We can go back to the picture of Troy Aikman. If it is all you need to know, one thing that I would like to know is why Troy Aikman, in the picture that we had of him, only had eye black under one eye.
He's throwing right.
I thought maybe the sun was only on one side of the stadium, but then they switched at the end of the quarter. That's a possibility. Perhaps they'll tell us that Sunday at 12:30 Eastern time. But I've never seen that before. Stocker lined to short his first time up. And he's called out on strikes. 5th strikeout for Maddox. 1 out in the 5th. Pitcher due up, so here comes Wes Chamberlain, who was the starter in right field last night for Philadelphia. He's been platooning in right field this season with Jim Eisenreich. He had .282 during the regular season. With 12 homers and 45 runs batted in, Wes had a good night with the bat last night. A couple of doubles before being replaced by Eisenreich, who went in for defense. Jim Fregosi said prior to the game tonight he made so many defensive changes last night he felt like he was playing a prevent defense. Following up on our football theme for this half inning.
Now the Philadelphia outfielders have been remarkably successful. They lead the National League in average runs, hits, extra base hits, walks, and slugging percentage, and they're second in RBIs.
That comes from 5 men. They platoon in left and right. Of course, Dykstra plays every day in center. Bobby Cox, back in his days in Toronto, used the platoons very well. At third base with Garth Orge and Rance Molnick for so many years, and behind the plate with Buck Martinez and Ernie Witt. Jim Fregosi has found success platooning in his outfield this year. And Chamberlain strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th for Maddox. You're looking at Terry Mulholland, who is the scheduled starter in Game 3 for Philadelphia. That's Saturday in Atlanta. And should Game 7 be necessary, Terry would start that ball game as well.
Obvious concern on the part of the Phillies before last Sunday as to whether Mulholland would be added to the postseason roster. But he worked 4 innings last Sunday against the Cardinals, and Jim Fregosi telling us that Terry could have pitched a complete game that day. So he's healthy and will start on Saturday.
It's 4 shutout innings Sunday against the Cardinals. Only allowed 1 hit. Looked very sharp despite not having pitched in about a month. Dykstra for 2 tonight. Batting with 2 outs and the bases empty in the 5th. The Braves lead 9-2. They've out-hit the Phillies 9-3. The teams have combined for 5 home runs tonight. And there's ball 4. Dykstra is aboard. The 5 home runs by 2 teams ties a league championship series record. It has been done 11 times prior to tonight. 7 times in the National League, 4 in the American League. So this is the 12th time in league championship series play that 2 teams have combined to hit 5 home runs.
And it was interesting when you gave that note that Mike Schmidt's name and number was in the background. The best third baseman in the history of the game, in my opinion. One of 4 numbers retired here in Philadelphia. Mike Schmidt, number 20. Steve Carlton, number 32. Richie Ashburn, number 1. And Robin Roberts, number 36.
On the outside part of the plate to Morandini. What number were you when you played for the Phillies?
I had a few of them. I ran out of room. I had a young man come up to me one day and said, He was saving all of my uniform numbers, and I told him he was going to run out of room after a while, and sure enough he did. The numbers on his wall. I had 11, 33, 6, 2, 15.
Any reason for all those numbers?
Yeah, change of teams.
And that's undoubtedly why the Phillies haven't retired your number. They
got tired of my
which
number.
one.
That's what happened.
1-2 the count on Morandini. Maddox with a chance to strike out the side with the walk that Dykstra mixed in. And he does. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Maddox. We'll return to Veterans Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
A carjacker forces a deadly confrontation.
I don't think he's a criminal. I will not call it self-defense.
You hate guns. I hate the thought of being carjacked.
In a season premiere as shocking as today's headlines.
You crossed the line.
Emmy winner Tom Skerritt and Emmy winner Kathy Baker return in the Emmy-winning Best Dramatic Series. CBS invites you to experience television's best. Picket Fences, coming Fridays.
This is CBS.
Murphy, that package you sent to Denver, it never got there.
Introducing tracking software from Federal Express.
Well, it was picked up at 5:20 last night, and it was delivered at 9:42 a.m. and signed for by Kate Donovan. Shall I call her for you, sir?
Never mind. Now you can track packages right from your computer on your desk.
In Lake Edna, you can get a quarter for $1.99.
Huh?
That's right. Come into KFC and enjoy a quarter of the Colonel's rotisserie gold. Slow roasted, deep marinated, and now with a cornbread muffin for just $1.99. Get it?
Got it.
A quarter chicken and a cornbread muffin for just $1.99.
At KFC, we do chicken right.
Sul tuo amore infranto ridi del dol che t'avvelena il cor.
A Princeton professor claims literature's highest prize after the game.
You're looking at John Sherholtz, the general manager of the Atlanta Braves. There is a horse named for John Sherholtz that ran in the first race at Belmont Park in New York today. And Sherholtz finished second in the horse that won the race. It's a runaway. How appropriate on this night in which Sherholtz's team leads 9-2. Apparently John's Braves were a little bit quicker out of the gate tonight than his horse was.
Well, the Braves didn't run away with the National League Western Division, but they are running away with this game tonight behind the strong pitching of Greg Maddux.
Greg is at the plate. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and bounced to second, facing a new pitcher, Roger Mason, the 4th pitcher of the night for Philadelphia. Bobby Cox said before the game tonight that he would like to get an inning of relief for John Smoltz. The pop-up. Morandini to catch. 1 out. We're in the 6th, and the Braves lead 9-2. They've hit 4 home runs. Fred McGriff got them off and running in that direction with a mammoth 2-run homer off the starter Tommy Green. Damon Berryhill hit a 3-run homer that capped a 6-run third. Jeff Blauser also a solo home run during that inning. Dave Hollins got the Phillies on the board with a 2-run home run off Maddox in the 4th. And Terry Pendleton belted the 4th Atlanta home run the 5th home run in all tonight to make it 9-2 Braves. That was last inning. Now we're in the 6th, and here's Otis Nixon, who continues to be a thorn in the side of the Phillies. He's reached base all 3 times tonight with 2 walks and a single. And Otis has scored a run tonight. That was in the 1st on the home run by McGriff.
That's after reaching base 3 times last night with 2 RBIs.
Roger Mason 5-12. Combining his stints with Philadelphia and San Diego. He started the year in San Diego and was 0-7 for the Padres. A cynic might say that was one of the better records on the staff at the time, but we're not cynical. He was 5-5 after the trade to the Phillies, which came on July 3rd in exchange for another right-handed pitcher, Tim Mauser. Mason has pitched for Detroit, San Francisco, Houston, Pittsburgh, San Diego, and now the Phillies. Stalker just did get Otis Nixon. Low throw handled nicely by Kruk. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Tim McCarver and I will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 in the player's name to the Special Olympics.
That was a shot of Mike Schmidt, as a matter of fact, in 1980, the only year we mentioned earlier, the only year that the Phillies have ever won a world championship.
There's John Smoltz, scheduled to start Game 4 in Atlanta on Sunday. Fly ball to right. Mason works a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th in Philadelphia. The Braves 9, the Phillies 2.
Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah.
Eyes of America. That's why Pearl Vision is now offering $50 off on each complete pair of glasses. Pick any frame in the store, add any lenses, then subtract $50. Right now and only at Pearl Vision.
Dear Midas customers, we don't want your family riding around on bad brakes. That's why we'll fix the brakes on most cars the same day you bring it in.
A pioneer in managed health care. A major resource to help fund your child's education. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Tonight, Tracy Ullman and Don Hockey Puck Rickles. Plus,
free beverages available at the refreshment tent.
Tonight on CBS.
Fans here at the Vet tonight haven't liked what they have seen or heard as the visitors from Atlanta lead 9-2 in Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. Phillies with such an emotional win last night, but you can sense here in the ballpark tonight the emotion is turned around completely with this throttling that the Braves are giving to them.
Well, that's what good pitching can do. The pitching of Greg Maddux and the other Atlanta starters can put crowds and lineups to sleep. great sedative.
And it didn't take Maddox long to put Kruk to rest. He's out on the fly ball to open the 6th inning. 9-2 Atlanta. And the batter is Dave Hollins, who provided all the Philadelphia offense to this point in this one with a 2-run home run in the 4th. Maddox has only surrendered 3 hits, 2 singles, and the Hollins homer. Big swing and a miss. 1-1 on Hollins. There's Kim Batiste, last night's hero. He shed the goat horns, brought on by his error in the 9th when he had the game-winning hit in the 10th. Said he had never been carried off a field before in any sport at any level. You don't see that very often in baseball, but the ride on his teammates' shoulders off the field.
I think your note at the beginning of the telecast is worth repeating. First time ever in postseason play, 765 games, that a defensive replacement had made an error and drove in the winning run. First time ever, and there's the man who did it.
Kim Batiste from Louisiana. I mentioned earlier, Greg Maddux is from Las Vegas. His dad, Dave, is a card dealer in a casino in Las Vegas. Brother Mike, of course, pitched this year for the New York Mets. Greg says he and Mike like living in Las Vegas because out there they just blend in with the crowd with so many other celebrities from various walks of life. McGriff to Maddux for the 2nd out of the 6th inning. And for those of you who missed the heroics of Kim Batiste in game 1, here's a look back at the 10th inning of last night's ball game when it was a much more raucous Veteran Stadium. He said he was just hoping for the chance to redeem himself and was uplifted by the attitude of his teammates in the dugout after he made the error. He said everybody was very positive and encouraging him and telling him to forget about the error, that he'd get a chance to redeem himself, and he did that and then some. Darren Daulton is the batter, still looking for his first hit in this league championship series. This is the 77th pitch of the night from Maddux. 1-1 on Daulton, 2 outs, base is empty. 6th inning, 9-2 Atlanta. One and 2 now on Daulton. Just a couple of years ago here in Philadelphia, Darren Daulton's popularity was at a point that not only was he booed, but on Family Day his wife and young child were booed when they came out to take the field. That's line to left center, and it falls in for a hit. First hit in the postseason for Darren Daulton. Game 3 of the National League Championship Series is at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium Saturday afternoon, 3 Eastern time. It's a night game Sunday in Atlanta, 8:29 Eastern the first pitch, and Monday game 5, an afternoon ball game at 3:07. Should game 6 and 7 be necessary, the scene would return to Philadelphia. Jim Eisenreich, the batter. Talked during Jim's last at bat about his battle with Tourette syndrome. He says he's been really about the same now for 10 years. He found medication that controls the problem. He said he takes his medicine once a day, generally after games at night. The most important thing is to get a good night's sleep. To the count as Maddux works to Eisenreich. Pulled down the first. McGriff makes the play himself, and that ends the inning. We go to the 7th. 9-2 Atlanta.
Safety is something we all think about. Buick has considered the subject from many angles. So for frontal impacts, Buick Regal offers a driver's side airbag. And for side impacts, Regal meets 1997 government safety standards right now. 3 years in advance. Why has Buick put so much into Regal? Because you put so much into Regal. Regal from Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
At Mutual of Omaha, we understand that nurturing and protecting come naturally. So it's only natural that you want to provide for your family, even if your ability to provide is taken away. Mutual of Omaha, disability insurance to protect your changing world.
You fill me with wonder. You're simple as can be. You're always a comfort. You set my spirit free. You're the part of me that's the heart of me. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop. That's special delivery. That's Enterprise.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 2 of the National League Championship Series is brought to you by Buick, the new symbol for quality in America, the Mutual of Omaha Companies, and by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, the special delivery company.
Sean McDonough with Tim McCarver and Pat O'Brien, our producer Bob Dekas, our director Bob Fishman. Happy to have you with us from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. And Atlanta leads by a touchdown, 9-2, as we go to the 7th inning. Roger Mason came on last inning, worked a 1-2-3-6. That was the first time the Braves have gone in order tonight. Ron Gant leads off. He's 1 for 3. He doubled and scored during the inning that broke the ball game open, the 6-run Atlanta third. Fred McGriff and David Justice scheduled to follow.
You mentioned how David Justice carrying himself a lot better this year, a lot more maturity. Well, I think the same could be said about Ron Gant. A lot more confidence this year, and the one guy we mentioned last night, the one guy on the Braves determined to get to the World Series. After last postseason, a World Series in which he started game 1, but then Deion Sanders took over in place of Gant. And he lives in the suburbs of Atlanta, and he worked out every day with the thought in mind that he will have a better year and hope to play in a World Series for the first time. Or
sure
actually not for
like
the first time. He's played in the last 2, but be more successful in his first World Series.
Make sure he's in there as a starter every night. He did not start in games 2, 3, 5, and 6 of the World Series last year. Deion Sanders, who was hot at the time and Gant was not, took over. Ron sure looks like a guy who worked out every day in the offseason. He has $20,000 worth of equipment in the weightlifting room at his house. He weighs 190 pounds. We are told he can bench press 430 pounds. He struck out for the first out of the 7th. Anheuser-Busch as its aerial ambassador, the Bud 1 airship, traveling throughout the country with its 21-member ground crew. They're on a national tour. The Bud 1 is piloted by Steve Woods and Mike Hance, with camera operator George Schaafsma aboard. McGriff with another hit. His third of the night, a 2-run homer and 2 singles in 4 at-bats for Fred McGriff tonight.
Fred McGriff traded in midseason, his first game with the Atlanta Braves on July 20th, and he could demand a trade this winter, actually become a free agent, but I think he has every intention of staying in Atlanta, and I think the Braves and John Schuerholz have every intention of keeping him also.
Well, we asked Fred about that 2 days ago during the workout, and he said he likes it in Atlanta. Was very comfortable there. We certainly got the impression he wants to stay. It's relatively close to his home in Tampa. David Justice is the batter. Of course, the Braves catching fire coincided with the day McGriff arrived, and the same is true of their stadium, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. On the day McGriff joined the Braves, there was a fire in the ballpark. It did damage to part of the press box and some luxury boxes. It delayed the game that night against St. Louis by a couple of hours. So the stadium caught fire, and the team did as well when McGriff arrived.
Of course, with the likelihood of Fred McGriff staying with Atlanta, that would mean the departure of the very popular Sid Bream, a guy who a lot of people think brought a solid leadership to this Atlanta ball club. Sid Bream and Terry Pendleton, the 2 guys that people point to. And has Sid Bream ever handled the McGriff trade in classy fashion? That's predictable.
He is still very much a team leader despite his reduced playing role. He will always be remembered by Braves fans, of course, as the man who scored the winning run in Game 7 of last year's League Championship Series against Pittsburgh, just beating the throw by Barry Bonds on the base hit by Francisco Cabrera. The slow-footed Bream, bothered by knee trouble over the years, scoring from second on the single to left by inches. Chopped down to first. Kruk thought about second, makes the play at first. For the second out of the inning, McGriff moves into scoring position with 2 outs in the 7th, with Atlanta leading 9-2. Braves at one point during this 1993 season, it coincides with the time of the arrival of McGriff, July 22nd, 10.5 games out. They became the 9th team in Major League Baseball history to come from 10 games or more back to win that late in the year. And the furthest distance traveled, the Miracle Braves of 1914, when they were in Boston in 8th place, 15 games out on July 5th. They won the World Series.
They won the league by 10.5 games that year. Can you imagine making up 25.5 games in a little more than 2.5 months?
No.
I can't either.
Terry Pendleton, the batter. He is 3 for 3 tonight. 2 homers, rather 2 singles and a homer. 2 runs scored and 3 knocked in. Pendleton finished the regular season on a tear, and he has carried that into the postseason. We talked about the 14 Braves being in Boston. Braves, an original member of the National League in 1876. Then they were known as the Boston Red Stockings. Since then, they have also been known as the Reds, the Red Caps, the Bean Eaters, the Doves, the Rustlers, and the Bees. Kruk wins the race to the base. That ends the inning, but not the scrambles as far as we can tell. 7th inning stretch, 9-2 Atlanta.
Andre and Michelle, 2 Europeans, are going to tour America and sample the best the New World offers. They'll drive the Buick Park Avenue Ultra, a car with some features they've never seen on European models, with a supercharged engine that can quench even a European's thirst for assertive power. They'll see America in the world's most aptly named car, Ultra from Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
Good morning, Wendy's. Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich. You want it back? Hi, Gladys. The phone's been ringing off the hook.
What's this?
Monterey Ranch. Monterey Ranch, Monterey Ranch, Monterey.
I'm sorry I asked.
We got the hint, so it's back. Creamy ranch dressing with real bacon and Monterey Jack cheese on a whole breast filet.
Where you going, buddy? Inside, I'm Dave Thomas. Right, and I'm the Queen of France. Back of the line.
Come try Wendy's Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich, but come early.
They say Mozart composed from midnight to 7 a.m. Hemingway was at his best before noon. Edison, inspired by the dark. At Compaq, we understand that ideas aren't governed by a clock. That's why we're standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to answer your computing questions. Galileo, definitely a night person. The 24-hour helpline from Compaq.
You've got to attack the courses. You've got to master the machinery. You've got to use all your resources.
It's not really that difficult to earn the name Good Ranch.
All it takes is all you've got.
Good Ranch, raising the standards of performance on the track and in your GM dealership.
Guess how much street crime costs your hospitals? Try $22 million a year at this big city facility. Now, guess who pays? Eye on America tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
7th inning stretch at the Vet in Philadelphia for 62,436. They've been quiet for most of the night as the Braves jumped ahead early. And Atlanta leads 9-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Milt Thompson fouled the first pitch from Maddox away. Greg has only given up 4 hits. He has walked 2 and has struck out 5. Make it 7. Never was very good at math.
Mentioned earlier that Maddox signing with the Braves on December 9th for $28 million.
And he throws Thompson out. Let's see if we can locate Pat O'Brien. Patrick?
All right, Sean, thank you. I'm up in press row here to show you how big baseball has become. More than 700 press credentials were issued for this ball game, and there you see them. They're working hard. Most of these people are on a 20-day road trip, by the way. There's Don Sutton over there, the great Dodger. Don, how you doing? Come on here. I want to show you something. This is where tomorrow's headlines are made. These are where the pictures are transmitted all over the world, all over the country. And they go through this computer down to Washington, D.C., and then all over the country. And now we see this one's going to a Phoenix news service, and I believe that's Tommy Green being taken out of the ball game. So there you have it. These are the kinds of things you learn late at night in a 9-2 ball game. Back to you.
Thank you, Pat. Photographers well represented as well. Stalker with a base hit. Maddox had to get down quickly to duck out of the way of that line single in the center by Stalker.
Looks like a changeup, and Stalker rips it back through the middle. He committed, then he hit it hard, and Greg Maddox, who led the National League in chances for the 5th year in a row, wants no part of this one. You can't blame him.
Ricky Jordan batting for the pitcher and appearing for the first time in the league championship series. He appeared in 90 games during the regular season for the Phillies and posted the numbers you saw, 289 average with 5 homers and 18 runs batted in. He led Philadelphia with 16 pinch hits, most for a Philly since Greg Gross had 18 in 1982. (9-2) is the score. Atlanta has the lead in the bottom of the 7th. Breaking ball missed. 1-1 on Ricky Jordan.
Actually, Paul Scott Jordan. How can you get Ricky out of Paul Scott? Well, he was named Ricky by his guardian. When he was younger, he used to sing a song that had Ricky Ticky 2 in it. And he found it melodic.
Could you give us a few bars?
And his guardian named him Ricky. So Paul Scott Jordan became Ricky Jordan. And no, I can't.
Does that mean his middle name is now Tiki too? Berryhill out to the mound to chat with Maddox with the count 2-1. Another quality performance by Maddox. And there is perhaps no pitcher in the majors who combines quality with quantity as well as Maddox. He led the majors this year in both earned run average and innings pitched. His ERA was 2.36. He threw 267 innings. Leading the majors in both ERA and innings is something that has been done only 7 other times of the century. Grover Cleveland Alexander did it 3 times. Sandy Koufax twice. Walter Johnson back in 1913. Bucky Walters, Dizzy Trout, Hal Newhouser, and Mike Scott, the others. We talked earlier about distinguished company.
Yeah.
And that's about as distinguished as it gets if you're a pitcher.
Well, the Braves knew that they were getting a quality pitcher, the Cy Young Award winner of last year. And when they signed Maddox, it marked the first time in the free agent era that a defending league champion had signed as a free agent a pitcher who had won 20 games the previous season. And even Leo Mazzoni's worried now. But of course, when you're playing the Phillies, you have to be.
He stopped rocking momentarily. But he has not stopped agonizing. The third walk thrown by Maddox. First and second and 1 out. 7th inning, 9-2 Braves. Lenny Dykstra flied to center in the first, struck out in the third, and walked in the 5th. Good sinking movement on that pitch. John Vukovic, bench coach for Jim Fregosi, to the manager's left. Jim Fregosi found out recently that his wife Joni is pregnant and expecting their 3rd child. So Joni waited until after they clinched the division, eliminated Montreal, to tell him because she didn't want to distract him or upset him. It wasn't upsetting news. He's delighted. It'll be the 3rd child for Jim and Joni Fregosi. Fregosi's 5th. He has 2 grown children from a previous marriage. One of them, Jim Jr., is 29 years old, and he has a son who is actually older than one of Jim Fregosi's children from his 2nd marriage. Jim and Joni Fregosi's children are 4 and 2. 0-2 the count on Dykstra. And he struck him out. 8th strikeout of the night for Maddox. The left-hander is Mike Stanton and the right-hander Mark Wohlers.
Maddox running into some mild trouble here in the 7th inning. It'll be interesting to see if Bobby Cox allows Maddox to try to pitch a complete game. Only 2 complete games against the Phillies all year, both by Pittsburgh Pirate pitchers. The first by Steve Cook on June 26th, and our old pal Tim Wakefield on September 30th.
Good for you. 12 months of practice, and it is Tim Wakefield.
Thanks, Sean.
Did you call him Bill at any time during the year?
No.
I didn't think so. Morandini out on the ground ball to second, and that ends the inning. Morandini now 1 for 4. So Maddox escapes the inning. 9-2 Braves.
The Good Son is a great thriller. Macaulay Culkin plays the bad seed to perfection with the year's most shocking ending. Susan! The Good Son, rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Someone very special is on that train. That's why you're driving a Buick LeSabre. You love its powerful V6 engine, anti-lock brakes, and steel safety cage body unit. But you bought LeSabre for the dual airbags, one for you and one for that very special person who sits next to you. LeSabre from Buick. the new symbol for quality in America.
Go ahead, make a wish. Then share it with your Allstate agent, who knows planning makes wishes come true, and who can outline a life insurance plan to assure family security and college funding and a comfy retirement are in the stars for you. So make your wish and trust it to your Allstate agent, who wants to be your agent for life.
With DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard, it's easy to make it happen.
Save right now. Buy 3 Goodyear tires at the regular price, get the 4th tire free. That's right. Buy any 3 of these Goodyear tires at the regular price and get the 4th free. 4 for 3 now. Hurry, savings end soon.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
We're heading to the 8th. The Braves lead 9-2. Home runs have accounted for 9 of the 11 runs scored in this ballgame. The Braves have hit 4. Philadelphia 1. One of the home runs for Atlanta belongs to Terry Pendleton, who's 3 for 4, and he has driven in 3 runs tonight. Despite the score, that hasn't dampened the spirit of the Philly fanatic. David West, the 5th pitcher of the night for Philadelphia, delivers a first pitch strike to Damon Berryhill. West has done an excellent job as the left-handed setup man in Jim Fragosi's bullpen. Berryhill hit a 3-run homer that capped the 6-run third. It's his only hit in 3 trips tonight. That home run came off Bobby Thigpen. 9 runs, 10 hits for Atlanta, 2 runs, 5 hits for Philadelphia. West, another big guy at 6'6". They list him at 230 pounds. He is 29 years old, from Tim McCarver's hometown of Memphis, Tennessee.
David went to Craigmont High School in Memphis, signing originally with the Mets, and then went to Minnesota in the Frank Viola deal in 1989, and he gets Damon Berryhill with a slider out of the strike zone. It's interesting to note that Berryhill has caught every inning that Greg Maddux has pitched this year, and you have to go all the way back to 1980 to find 2 other catching tandems where a catcher-pitcher tandems. One was Bob Boone catching Steve Carlton every inning of the 1980 season. The other, Gary Carter, catching Steve Rogers of the Expos the same season. Caught him every inning of the year.
Mark Lemke is the batter. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He has twice flied to left and has struck out swinging. Long throw for Stocker. He won't make the throw as he dropped the bounding ball. And we'll await the scoring. Neither team has made an error here tonight. And that has been scored an error, charged to Stocker.
I think Kevin got caught in between whether to backhand it or try to get in front of it. Often it's better to backhand a ball to your right that far, because if you circle it to get in front of it, you're not going to have enough time to get a guy with average speed.
Maddux looked at a ball outside. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And this game kind of reinforces the point Bobby Cox was making to us before the game tonight that I thought was interesting. He said, really, there are no long relievers in the National League, because if you're way behind, as the Phillies have been tonight, you keep pinch hitting for the pitcher. None of them go a long time. Stocker kicks another one, and Kruk had to hustle to track it down, prevented from rolling into the Philadelphia dugout. That probably would have been a hit with the speed of Maddox, and it has been scored a hit.
Stocker trying to release it too quickly. Can't find the handle. And Maddox with an infield hit. I think that was properly scored. Stocker looking back up at the lights. You know, he could have lost that ball in the lights. These are rather low-lying lights here at Veterans Stadium. He's looking up again, and that's perhaps what Kevin Stocker was looking into as he was going forward, trying to feel that ground ball by Maddox.
Nixon, the hitter. We could see clearly on the replay, he definitely looked away before he watched the ball go into his glove. He was trying to see where Maddox was in relation to the bag. Nixon reached base his first 3 plate appearances, 2 walks and a single. He has scored a run. Got him out for the first time tonight in the 6th. Andre Mason with his 2 shutout innings got Otis on a ground ball to short. Most of the damage done against the starter Tommy Green. He gave up 7 earned runs and 2 in the 3rd innings. It's the first time as a major leaguer that Tommy Green has allowed 7 earned runs in a game.
Getting back, Sean, to that point you were making, however, about relievers in the National League not being long relievers, and the reason for that is that they have to be pinch hit for, especially in a blowout game. Bobby says the only league in which there are long relievers, the American League, where you have the designated hitter and consequently no pinch hitters.
West missed low, and the count goes to 3-1.
So I asked Bobby, I said, well, does that mean that anybody other than a starter should be considered a short reliever? And he said yes. Interesting theory. It's really semantics anyway.
But when it's 9-2 in the 8th inning, we'll deal with semantics. We should note that the search for Scrapple has ended. Our camera crew traversed the entire stadium, up and down each concourse, and we could not locate a concession stand that sells Scrapple.
I told you it was not the hour for Scrapple. Primarily in the morning.
Otis Nixon stings one toward the gap in right center. Eisenreich over to cut it off. But here comes Lemke around to score, and the Braves have reached double figures. It's 10-2.
Maybe by the time the Braves decide to stop scoring, it will be time for Scrapple.
They have stolen our banner. Or they're carrying our banner. I suppose we could look at it from the glasses half full perspective. Jeff Blauser, the batter. He's 1 for 4, a solo home run in the 3rd. That is a great way to get on a national telecast. Take the network banner and start walking around the ballpark.
You are encouraging folks to take the banner, I guess.
Well, we have just formed a policy now at CBS that in the future we will never show a fan who takes the CBS banner.
And you made sure of that.
That has been confirmed by those in the truck.
You put a lid on that baby.
Yep. So don't do it, folks. You have no chance of getting on TV if you swipe one of those banners. 1-2 the count on Blauser. They're still walking around the ballpark, though. He fought it off. It's still 1-2. All banners will be in place at Sky Dome tomorrow for Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. The White Sox still trying to win their first ball game in that series. 8:12 Eastern time. The first pitch. Wilson Alvarez against Pat Henkin. Down the right field line, slicing toward the seats. Good effort by Eisenreich, but he ran out of room. Still 1-2 on Blauser. We're in the 8th and the Braves lead 10-2. They jumped off to an 8-0 lead after 3. Beginning the 6-run third. We had 6 consecutive hits with the walk mixed in. Play. Still 1-2. Lenny Dykstra has the glove on his hand. Last night we caught him several times waiting till the pitch was about to be delivered. Sometimes the ball was on its way to the plate. Apparently when it's 10-2 he doesn't go through what he calls some of those trigger mechanisms. And as we say it, he did take his glove off.
But Dykstra is certainly a man of movement. Many idiosyncrasies.
Lee Thomas deserves a lot of credit, the general manager of the Phillies, for building this team, and he considers the trade in which the Phillies acquired Dykstra to be the first building block. That was from the Mets back in 1989. A trade that sent Juan Samuel to New York, and there are many who believe that was one of the trades that resulted in the unraveling of the Mets.
And Juan Samuel asked to be traded after the season was over. He did not like New York, so the Mets lost not only Lenny Dykstra and Roger McDowell, but Juan Samuel as well.
Apparently the knock on Lenny in New York was that he couldn't hit left-handed pitching.
Yeah, he was never really given a chance to.
Base hit. Line drive and a right. The runners had to hold up to see if it would be caught. And they stopped Maddox at third. That loads the bases with 1 out. 3 straight hits after the Stalker error.
Rafael Belliard will be coming into the game to give Jeff Blauser a rest. We mentioned flu symptoms of Blauser. It's weakened Jeff the past couple of nights. So Bobby Cox using the big lead as a reason for giving Blauser a rest. And speaking of resting, the Braves will be returning to Atlanta at about 3 in the morning, and they will not be working out tomorrow afternoon. The Phillies, however, will have a workout at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Bobby Cox saying some of the pitchers will throw tomorrow, but the team will not have an official workout.
So Belliard runs for Blauser. The bases are loaded for Ron Gant. Took a breaking ball outside. Gant had never hit a grand slam until last year's league championship series against Pittsburgh, when he homered with the bases full off Bob Walk. It's one of 22 grand slams hit in postseason play.
This might be another one.
Eisenreich on the run at the wall, and it's off the wall. 2 runs are in, and they're waving Belliard around. He will score. As the throw got by Dalton, Belliard missed the plate but went back to tag it. And with the throw getting by Dalton, Gant moves into third. It's a bases loaded double for Gant. They'll charge an error, allowing him to get to third. And the Braves lead 13-2.
Major League catchers are often compared to hockey goalies. And watch how much Darren Dalton looks like a hockey goalie with that play. He tries to get the left leg out to ward Belliard off the plate. As a matter of fact, Belliard didn't touch the plate.
He did go back and tag it.
There, as you see, Belliard misses the plate, and as the ball gets by Dalton, Belliard retreats and touches home plate.
And they charge the error on the second baseman Morandini on the relay. 2 errors in the inning. And 4 runs here in the 8th for Atlanta. They lead 13-2. A 3-run double for Gant. He's 2 for 5 tonight with 2 doubles and 3 runs batted in. And the Phillies play the infield in with 1 out, and Fred McGriff at the plate. He's the 7th batter of the inning. He swung and missed with the West breaking ball. McGriff is 3 for 4 tonight, 2 singles and a 2-run homer. Finished the note on grand slams in the postseason. The grand slam by Gant last year, one of 22 hit in postseason play. 16 in the World Series, 6 in League Championship Series play. And no player has ever hit more than 1 grand slam in the postseason. So Gant had a chance to become the first and didn't miss by much.
He hit that one hard enough, did Ronnie, but he just didn't get under it enough.
The 2-1 to McGriff is chopped to second. Playing the infield in will pay off as much as it can in an 11-run game. Gant still at third with 2 down. And the 8th hitter of the inning is David Justice. I wonder if all this is frustrating at all to Justice. While his teammates have had the parade around the bases, he's 0 for 3 tonight and is still looking for his first hit in the LCS. Fastball for strike 1.
This is a baseball quiz. 2 of the 3 pictured people right there have appeared in soap operas. I thought we were going to shoot Frank Pulley, the umpire.
Okay.
Well, he has not. There are 2 of those 3, Darren Dalton and David Justice, have, however, Dalton appearing in the soap opera Santa Barbara and David Justice appearing in the soap opera One Life to Live.
Our director Bob Fishman, a great fan, as you know, of soap operas. Do you think it would be inappropriate to mention, with the score 13-2 in the 8th, that Bob Fishman is a big fan of the character Dixie on All My Children?
I think by you asking me that question, you are saying that Bob is.
Oh, I know that he is. I was just wondering if it would be okay to say that.
I think it would be all right to say it. Yes, I do.
His wife is well aware of that, Margaret. The woman who plays Dixie is a very talented actress. Justice walked. They have batted around for the 2nd time tonight. 13 runs ties the League Championship Series record. It's been done 4 times previously. The Yankees in '81, the Cubs in '84, Pittsburgh, and the Braves last year. Pendleton, chance to put the capper on a huge night. He's already 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. He has 2 singles and a home run. First and third and 2 outs. 4 runs in here in the 8th. A couple of errors haven't helped David West. So the Braves will head back to Atlanta immediately following the ball game, even in this series, at 1 win apiece. And the mood of the Phillies has changed dramatically. That is out of play. Far fewer than the 62,000 plus we had on hand here at the start still remain. And 2 is the count on Pendleton. He's batting right-handed for the first time tonight. just missed the outside corner. Dalton did a good job of framing the pitch, but did not get the call.
Earlier we talked about how the open stance of Terry Pendleton does not prevent him from stepping forward and into the ball when he strides. He's not quite as open as a right-handed batter, standing up a little more in the box. From the left side, he is very open. I personally never thought that there was a big advantage to an open stance because you have to do too much with the lower part of your body. But Terry Pendleton has proven that it is not necessarily how you start, but how you attack the ball in the hitting area when it's about 15 feet from home plate. Almost all good hitters are in the right position when the ball's in that hitting zone, but the stances vary a great deal.
Still 1-2 on Terry, who was involved in one of the more bizarre episodes of the year when on May 26th in a game at Cincinnati he walked off the field, apparently upset with his teammate Marvin Freeman for not retaliating against Tim Belcher, then of the Reds, after Deion Sanders was hit by a pitch. Pendleton was fined for walking off the field in the middle of the game. Even though the Braves won 104, it wasn't always smooth sailing this year. They had Deion Sanders leave the team back in April because of his father's death, but then he decided not to return, upset about his contract and a lack of playing time. He called it the worst betrayal by a team in all of sports history. Pendleton strikes out on a pitch in the dirt. And that brings a merciful end to the inning for the Phillies. 4 more for Atlanta on to the bottom of the 8th. 13-2 Braves.
Hey, early again, huh, Frank?
I don't say this to many people. But what we do, the job we do,
Okay, guys, listen up.
is the most important job I can think of.
You've got a flight control check. Lewis and Randolph.
I mean, there's no such thing as a B+ mechanic on this airline.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Everybody knows their job. Everybody's responsible. Anybody, right down to the most junior mechanic, can keep an airplane in this hangar if there's the slightest hint of a problem. You might think, doing a job like this, day in, day out, it'd become routine. You know, just turning wrenches. But every now and then, I just go up and take a walk through the terminal. And right there, right in front of you, you see what's important.
How'd you like to buy a car with some serious attitude? Don't need to. This new Achieva Sport Coupe is very reasonable. No, really. And with a hot V6 engine and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, it's got all the attitude you need, and then some. Yeah, especially when you can afford it. It's your money.
I ordered pepperoni and onions on this pizza. I can't taste them. I can't even see them. They're just cut small. Small? How small?
So small they can't be seen by the naked eye.
Want big toppings? Introducing the new Chunky Style Pizza from Pizza Hut. It's got big chunks of meat and vegetables for taste you can actually see.
Welcome to the 21st century. Have a nice day. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Demolition Man, rated R. Starts Friday, October 8th.
John Kruk will lead off the bottom of the 8th for Philadelphia, with his team trailing by 11. He provided us with one of the most vivid images that we'll recall of the 1993 season, when in the All-Star game, the Mariners' Randy Johnson sailed the pitch way over his head, and John Kruk had a tough time getting his pulse back down where it usually resides.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about that is in 4,114 regular season at bats, John Kruk has only been hit by a pitch twice.
He said at the time, if Randy Johnson gets traded to a National League team, I'm retiring. Randy Johnson Stanton, a legitimate contender for the Cy Young Award in the American League.
Absolutely.
Mike Stanton is the new pitcher, so Greg Maddux has finished after 7 innings, in which he allowed only 2 runs on the Hollins home run in the 4th. Stanton, a hard-throwing lefty, was the closer for much of the year, but struggled at midseason, and Greg McMichael took over the closing role. Another change for the Braves. Sid Bream is into the ball game at first base, and Rafael Belliard, who came out as a pinch runner for Blauser, stays in the game at shortstop. So Bream would hit in the number 9 spot, previously occupied by Maddux, and Stanton would bat in the cleanup spot, filled till now by McGriff. Breck singled and scored on the Hollins home run. He walked back in the first. Just slapped at it and singled into center field. We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia for Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. The Phillies lead 1-0, a lead that will not last long, as Atlanta is in control of Game 2, leading 13-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Sean McDonough with Tim McCarver and Pat O'Brien. Truck at first with nobody out. And with his appearance in this ballgame, Sid Bream has become the first player to play in 4 consecutive National League Championship Series. One of those with Pittsburgh, the last 3 with the Braves. Dave Hollins hit a 2-run homer off Maddux in the 4th, the only damage done to Greg in his 7 innings. Maddux allowed 5 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 8. Hollins checked his swing and looked at ball 2, 2-0.
Because of the success of Greg McMichael, Mike Stanton has been moved back, and here's a guy who has given up only 1 run in 20 1/3 postseason innings. He has been dominating in postseason. Ken Herbeck, the first baseman of the Minnesota Twins, says he is the toughest left-hander that he has faced. He's covering some ground with a left-hander like Randy Johnson in the American League. Stanton facing Ken Herbeck and the Minnesota Twins in the 1991 World Series.
And he's just walked Hollins on 4 pitches, so the Phillies have the first 2 men on in the 8th. The Bud 1 airship, which provided aerial shots at this year's All-Star game, will follow one of these teams to the World Series, where the Bud 1 will use its eye-in-the-sky camera again. Two men on, nobody out. 13-2, Atlanta in the 8th. One of the problems for Stanton was control trouble. That led to a loss in confidence. He's been struggling to regain his control and build that confidence back up over the latter part of the season. Bobby Cox isn't taking any chances to hit by 11. He has Mark Wolders warming up. Darren Dalton, the hitter. Strike 1. Darren is 1 for 3. He singled in his last at bat. That was in the 6th, his first hit of this series. Very high pop-up. Infield fly rule in effect. And Bream made the catch. Coming up later tonight, following your late local news, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. What a lineup Dave has tonight. His guests are Don Rickles, Robert Cray, and Tracy Ullman. That's tonight, following the game and your late local news. The Late Show with David Letterman. One out for Jim Eisenreich, who was 0 for 3 tonight. Taking all the way, and it's a strike.
You mentioned Mike Stanton having control problems, and certainly that's one of the reasons that McMichael was put in as the #1 stopper. But there are a lot of major league teams who are salivating over the likes of Mike Stanton. They would love to have him. everybody says the weak link of the Braves is their bullpen. I don't buy that. I think Mark Wohlers and Mike Stanton are two of the most coveted pitchers in the major leagues. Everybody asked the Braves about Mark Wohlers, and almost everybody about Mike Stanton.
But you would concur that one of the reasons why the Braves have not been able to win the World Series the last 2 years is that their bullpen has not performed particularly well in World Series play.
I think one of the reasons last year, the addition of Jeff Reardon from the Boston Red Sox, he lost 2 games in the World Series. And the way I see it is that Mike Stanton, I don't think Bobby Cox and Leo Mazzoni had enough confidence in Mike Stanton last year. And the World Series, and I'm not trying to be too tough on Jeff Reardon because Jeff had a great revival of his career this year in Cincinnati. But Atlanta, having all the confidence they did in Reardon, could very well have been the reason that they were in a position to lose last year. I'm not blaming the whole loss of the World Series on Jeff Reardon by any means.
But you gave the numbers. Stanton had been
That's
dominant
right. That's
in
exactly
postseason
right.
play, and Reardon was struggling.
And you mentioned the key thing. A lot of times it's not the mechanical part of a pitcher's motion, but it's his confidence. A lot of mechanics are healed when the confidence returns. You don't work on how you throw a pitch, but it's more of a checkup from the neck up.
Full count on Eisenreich with 1 out, runners at first and second in the bottom of the 8th. Atlanta leads 13-2. Eisenreich popped it up. Again, the infield fly rule was in effect as Pendleton made the catch. 2 down. A rare breather for the Atlanta Braves tonight. They've been involved in so many nip and tuck battles in the postseason the last 3 years. Of the 28 games prior to tonight that Atlanta has played in the postseason, 16 one-run games, and 11 of those losses. 7 of their 8 losses the last 2 years in the World Series have come by 1 run. One and 0 the count on Milt Thompson.
Will be the starting pitcher on Monday afternoon at Fulton County Stadium. Steve pitched very well last night, and he hit even better. 2 for 2, a single and a double. But you know, it's hard to think of the Braves in postseason and thinking that they might have an easy time in a series. They took the Pittsburgh Pirates to 7 games in '91. The Twins to 7 games in the World Series. Then the Pirates to 7 again, and the Blue Jays to 6 last year in the World Series. So they can string it out. Even this year, you win 104 games and you win the National League West by 1.
2-2 on Thompson. Well hit right field. Justice running to right center, and on the edge of the warning track he made the catch. The Phillies strand 2. They've left 8. We go to the 9th. 13-2 Atlanta.
Ever wonder why a hamburger costs $10 in Tokyo? Or why a cab to the airport there runs about $120? Or why their luxury cars seem so expensive, especially when compared to the Oldsmobile 88 Special Edition, which, even with air, automatic, cruise, tilt, anti-lock brakes, and dual airbags, costs just $19,995? It's your money.
I love
this place. It's the new Burger King Everyday Value Menu with big Flame World burgers for only 99 cents.
I can't do it myself for 99 cents.
Your favorite Burger King foods at new, lower everyday prices, like the Croissant Combo served hot and fresh for $1.99. Check your Burger King Everyday Value Menu and be sure to try the delicious Flame Broiled Whopper Combo for $2.99.
That's great news for my pocketbook.
Value every day. Have it your way.
You're gonna want to come back every day.
Murphy, that package you sent to Denver, it never got there.
Introducing tracking software from Federal Express.
It was picked up at 5:20 last night, and it was delivered at 9:42 a.m. and signed for by Kate Donovan. Shall I call her for you, sir?
Never mind. Now you can track packages right from your computer on your desk.
Airbags, seat belts, and anti-lock brakes, child safety seats, careful driving, and a set of Michelins.
Who makes the only TV with a smart sound feature, which ensures your volume will stay at normal levels, even when something like this comes on?
Magnavox. Smart. Very smart.
Yes! No use shouting, old man.
Immediately following our game, David Letterman will be on after the local news. And what are the 5 reasons that life is confusing for Larry Anderson? The top 5 lines. Why do you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway? Number 4, since I pitched a simulated beer or game, do I have to go to the clubhouse and drink a simulated beer? No, I didn't. If a guy's a good fastball hitter, do you throw him a bad fastball? Number 2, why do they sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" when they're already there?
I love that one.
And my personal favorite, the number 1 Larry Anderson's top lines, why does sour cream have an expiration date? Some queries from the very zany Larry Anderson.
He is a funny guy.
Yes, he is.
Nothing too humorous about the situation facing his ball club, however. Down by 11 in the 9th, Damon Berryhill pops the first one foul and out of play. Todd Pratt is the new catcher, so Darren Dalton gets a rare breather. And it's an all-new battery for Philadelphia. Berryhill hit a 3-run homer that put the finishing touches on the 6-run 3rd inning. Frank Pulley having a problem with his mask. And it's gotten to the point now where the crowd is small enough where you can hear individual voices hollering out at Frank Pulley. Imagine some of those who are still in the stands aren't in the best of all possible moods given the score confronting the home team. Berryhill bounces one down to first, and Kruk makes the play himself. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. Earlier, Pat O'Brien took you into the press box. We will save you the quarter tomorrow for your local paper. Get a preview of what might appear in your paper tomorrow.
Much easier deadline for the writers tonight than last night.
Lemke, the batter, he is 0 for 4. Boy, they have quotes in there already, and the game's not even over. You better correct the spelling of Smoltz. I think if we go back there, it said Snoltz.
I think the reason for that is some of those quotes are yours.
Lemke bounced one to Morandini. There's John Smoltz.
Well, of course, they had the press conference before the game, and players
had
talking, I would
quotes.
imagine.
And undoubtedly, that's where those quotes came from. Sid Bream, the batter. And as we mentioned, he's the first player to appear in 4 straight National League Championship Series with his appearance tonight. And a base hit for Sid Bream. And a single to right with 2 outs in the 9th. And now Otis Nixon. He has walked and scored, singled, walked again, bounced to short. Then he singled and drove in a run last inning and scored as well. At the moment, you have to consider Otis the leading contender for MVP in this series. One ball and 1 strike. One ball and 2 strikes.
Atlanta Braves with the best record in baseball, 104 wins. The Phillies were 3rd with 97 wins. And only one time in the history of these 2 franchises have they finished 1 and 2 in wins in the league. That was back in 1915.
On the 3-2 pitch, the runner off with the pitch, and Nixon has another hit. And he might run for a while as it eluded the grasp of Thompson. Bream's around to score to make it 14-2. And Otis Nixon has a double. He has been on base 5 times tonight. And it's his 2nd RBI of the ball game.
On base 3 times last night with 2 RBIs. So he has been on base 8 times in 2 games. Milt Thompson came very close to hurting his right knee on this slide. A lot of outfielders actually slide as though they were sliding into a base to try to make catches like that. But Milt appears to be all right.
And this is a record now. It's the first time a team has ever scored 14 runs in a league championship series ball game. 14 runs on 16 hits. Rafael Belliard is the batter. Those other games, World Series games with the higher run totals. 14 runs tonight for the Braves, the most ever in a league championship series game. Rafael Belliard, in addition to his baseball exploits, owns an art gallery, the Belliard Art Stadium in Boca Raton, Florida. He's showing me some notebooks that have pictures of the artwork that hangs in his gallery. It is very impressive. The strikeout ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th, 14-2 Braves.
But what toothbrush would your dentist prefer to use? Well, in a recent nationwide test, dentists tried the leading flat brush and Crest Complete. The brush more dentists preferred was Crest Complete. Its one-of-a-kind rippled bristles get up to 37% farther between teeth than the leading flat brush. So, to help maintain a dentist clean at home, choose Crest Complete. It helps maintain a dentist clean.
A startling proposal heads for New Orleans. A hard-fought contract is Chicago-bound. 3 sets of contact lenses are expected in Tampa by tomorrow morning. Express mail from the Postal Service will get them there, overnight, guaranteed, from just $9.95. Every day, overnight, we deliver for you.
Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for.
Why are some women more at risk from breast cancer than others?
And a look at the new generation of live-action video games.
Tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
Okay, Sunday, you've got the Cowboys and the Colts.
A very interesting matchup.
Have you seen Emmett Smith?
He's putting the ball in the end zone.
Honey, how about some more dip?
Sure.
Here's the deal. Sunday, you've got the Cowboys and the Colts, the Giants, Redskins, or the Bears and the Eagles on CBS. We're big fans.
Have you told them yet?
Of course not, dear.
We're big fans.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 2 of the National League Championship Series is brought to you by Oldsmobile. Burger King and its everyday value menu. Have it your way. I love this place. And by Magnavox, the ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart. Very smart.
Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia and heading for the bottom of the ninth. Atlanta leads 14-2. The Braves about to pull even in this National League Championship Series. And Bobby Cox will get an inning of work from Mark Wohlers, who appeared in 46 games for the Braves during the regular season, all in relief. And he posted a 6-2 record with no saves and an ERA of 4.5.
The one pitcher that Wohlers reminds me of is Todd Worrell. Todd Worrell with the Cardinals back in 1985, a dominating pitcher, and I think that is the type of pitcher that Wohlers could be.
Couple of changes. Deion Sanders is into the ballgame in center field. Kevin Stocker, the batter, he took a fastball for a strike. And Tony Tarasco is in right field. Stocker singled his last time up. It was his first hit in the postseason. Wohlers a hard thrower. He can get it up in the high 90s.
There have been times this season when Wohlers has been almost unhittable with that high riding fastball. It gets up to around 97, 98 miles an hour. A hard biting slider, and then he's got a fork ball. And to throw a fork ball that goes down when his fastball goes up that fast is almost unfair. Big problem there. That was the fork ball, and you could see that downward movement. But one of the big problems is maturity and a matter of throwing strikes. There's the fork ball grip, and watch this ball go down to Kevin Stocker. That tumbling motion, it even gets away from Berryhill.
2-2 pitch, rides up and away. Wohlers is only 23 years old. He's from Holyoke, Massachusetts. 6'4", 207 pounds. Todd Pratt is on deck. And he blows away Stocker with the fastball. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series tomorrow, 8 Eastern time. The airtime first pitch at 8:12. Reports indicate that Frank Thomas will be back in the field as the first baseman, and Bo Jackson will be the DH. Thomas had been DHing, resting his injured arm, and Dan Pasqua had been the first baseman in the first 2 games for Chicago, both of them defeats.
Manager of the White Sox, Gene Lamont, looking for a little more offense out of the Sox.
Todd Pratt fouled the first pitch away. He's making his first postseason appearance. Phillies only have 7 players who had postseason experience prior to last night entering the series, while the Braves have 22 of their 25 who have seen action in postseason.
And after last night, the other 3 on the roster were involved in postseason play. So all of the Braves, all 25, have postseason experience.
Because Pacoda, McMichael, and Tarasco, the 3 who had not seen action previously in the postseason, did get into last night's game. Pratt called out on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 9th for Mark Wohlers. Leo Mazzoni is still rocking, even with the 12-run lead.
I think he's rocking more for comfort right now.
Sticking with the gum, a pretty good workout as well. Lenny Dykstra. Foul tipped it into the mid of Berryhill. 14-2 would be the second largest margin of victory ever in a league championship series game. The Cubs beat the San Diego Padres 13-0 in game 1 of the 1984 NLCS. A ball and a strike on Dykstra. 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. This series resumes Saturday. Tomorrow is an off day. The Phillies are scheduled to work out in the late afternoon at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. As Tim mentioned, the Braves are not going to work out. Fouled out of play, and now the Phillies are down to their final strike. It's 2-2. A very optimistic fan with the rally cap. Full count. Mark Wohlers with a chance to strike out the side here in the ninth. His 3-2 pitch is lifted high and deep to right. Tarasco back at the wall and watching that one go. Home run, Lenny Dykstra. That's a new record for home runs by the two teams combined in the league championship series game. It is the 6th home run of this ball game.
Well, you saw the split fingers, but this is a fastball by Dykstra. And that for Dykstra's second hit of the series. He doubled to lead off the game last night.
This in the battle of the leadoff man, which we talked about at the beginning of last night's game. A key in the series. Otis Nixon has had the upper hand through the first 2 games. Mickey Morandini, the batter. He's 1 for 4. He singled and stole second way back in the first inning when it was still a game. Wasn't a game for long. The Braves led 8-0 after 3, and they have cruised ever since. First time 6 home runs have been hit in 1 game in league championship series play. They've been spread out. 4 for the Braves. McGriff, Blauser, Berryhill, and Pendleton. And 2 for the Phillies, Hollins and Dykstra. Tough to pick our Chevrolet player of the game because the offense of the Braves has been so well spread out. Wohlers does strike out the side in the 9th with the home run by Dykstra mixed in. And Bobby Cox and the Braves are even in this series at 1 win apiece. As tonight they pound the Philadelphia Phillies 14-3. We'll return to the vet in just a moment.
Love this place. It's the new Burger King Everyday Value Menu with big Flame Broiled burgers for only 99 cents.
I can't do it myself for 99 cents.
Your favorite Burger King foods at new lower everyday prices, like the Croissant Combo served hot and fresh for $1.99. Check your Burger King Everyday Value Menu and be sure to try the delicious Flame Broiled Whopper Combo for $2.99.
That's great news for my pocketbook.
Value every day. Have it your way.
You're gonna want to come back every day.
Here you go. Try this. It's a new cereal.
Ooh, granola.
No, it's new. It's granola.
Great crunchy granola.
Bob, it's more than granola. It's granola with a B, like your name.
Ah, but that taste, those crunchy golden clusters baked with a touch of honey. And look, raisins.
It's got fiber from bran.
Oh, I get it. Bran granola. Branola with a B. Like my name. Bob.
New low-fat post granola cereal. Original or with raisins. More than granola. Branola.
We have to have a communication system that never fails.
Patty was losing calls. Losing calls to her could possibly mean losing a life.
If the ambulance crews can't talk to the dispatch center, we can't run an ambulance business. If I could bring my monthly costs down, I could afford to budget state-of-the-art telephone system. That's what MCI did.
I had a great sense of responsibility.
MCI backs the product.
You try to do the good thing.
She sat there and really listened.
I would have almost paid my own way to play baseball if I could have. The hitting was what I always liked, and I had a bat in my hand. I just felt like I was the man in command. I've been a member of the Hall of Fame since 1982. Probably one of the greatest thrills I had in life. I've been a card member since 1988. It works.
American Express is welcomed at the Hall of Fame and at places where you don't have to be a big hitter to get noticed.
The 6 home runs the story in Atlanta's 11-run victory over Philadelphia here tonight. Maddox beat Green. The Chevrolet player of the game is Terry Pendleton. He went 3 for 5 and drove in 3. He scored 2. He had one of the 6 home runs. He had a big 2-run single that highlighted the 6-run third that blew the ball game open. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 in Terry's name to the Special Olympics, and Terry's standing by with Pat O'Brien.
All right, Sean, thank you. Before the game, we were talking about how this team doesn't get scared and has the ability to come back.
Well, yes, you know, we feel confident about winning. We feel confident we have a ball club that can come out and put runs on the board, and of course our pitching staff can pitch.
Is there anything wrong with this team? Is there a weakness on this team?
Yeah, when we don't come out and win, it's a weakness. But other than that, no, I think the biggest factor for us is that we do have talent here, but I think the even bigger factor is the fact that we know we can win. We really feel we can win every time out.
Nice night at the office. He says he wants a Chevy van, by the way, if he's Chevrolet player of the game. We'll see it down in Atlanta. Back upstairs.
Thank you, Pat. Once again, the final score, Atlanta 14, Philadelphia 3, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, isn't that a Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich?
Yeah, we just brought it back.
Hey, isn't that your wife?
Where?
Ooh, could that dress get any tighter?
It's back. Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich.
Hey, isn't that Haley's Comet?
Creamy ranch dressing with real bacon and Monterey Jack cheese on a whole breast filet. What a combination.
What's my wife doing here?
Where?
Two can play this game.
Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich. You better buy 2.
Jell-O gelatin's just 12 cents a serving. That's 4 cents for the giggles, 4 cents for the improved motor skills, and 4 cents for creativity.
Hello, Jell-O.
Whatever your budget, there's always room for Jell-O.
Right now, all Craftsman hand tools, all power tools, all Craftsman lawn and garden equipment, and every gallon of paint are on sale. Save 10 to 30%. But hurry, it all ends Saturday at Sears.
Do you want to jam? Get new Nestle Crunch Jammin' Bars. Rip into rock, unwrap the wrap, jazz, and reggae. Collect all 12 Nestle Crunch Jammin' designs. You want to jam? Get new Nestle Crunch Jammin' Bars.
Brute. Men are back.
Coming up following your late local news, The Late Show with David Letterman, his guests Don Rickles, Robert Cray, and Tracy Ullman. That's tonight following your late local news. Now for Tim McCarver and Pat O'Brien, I'm Sean McDonough saying so long from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The final score, Atlanta 14 and Philadelphia 3. You have been watching Major League Baseball on CBS Sports, home of the 1993 World Series. Good night, everyone.
Love this place. It's the new Burger King Everyday Value Menu with big Flame World burgers for only 99 cents.
I can't do it myself for 99 cents.
Your favorite Burger King foods at new lower everyday prices, like the Croissant Combo served hot and fresh for $1.99. Check your Burger King Everyday Value Menu and be sure to try the delicious Flame World Whopper Combo for $2.99.
That's great news for my pocketbook.
Value every day. Have it your way.
You're gonna want to come back every day.
Save in every department during Circuit City's Columbus Day weekend sale. Get unbeatable low prices and 0% interest for 6 months on top brands. This GE 19-inch TV is just $189.97. Every Sony and Panasonic VCR is on sale. every component CD player. And every GE and Amana refrigerator is on sale. Unbeatable low prices and 0% now at Circuit City.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state-of-the-art.
Why are some women more at risk from breast cancer than others?
And a look at the new generation of live-action video games.
Tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
They come from China, from Thailand, from England, Germany, France, and Australia. Every day, people from 33 countries across 5 continents come together in the friendly skies. United. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
I wish I were younger.
I wish I was older.
I wish I were stronger.
I wish I were more successful.
In a world where it seems nothing is ever enough, isn't it nice to know something actually is? Lexus, ranked #1 car line in customer satisfaction for the 3rd year in a row, and we still wish we were better. See your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer for a totally satisfying experience.
As governor, I'm going to cut your taxes.
Right. Whitman uses a loophole to pay $47 in property taxes on 50 acres. She was fined for not paying her taxes on illegal aliens. She just called tax cuts cynical. Now Whitman makes up an election eve tax cut with no specifics on how she'll pay for it. Unbelievable. Whitman said it best this February.
It insults the intelligence of New Jerseyans to dangle election year handouts before the voters.
You got that right, Christie.
Every morning, we send our children one day closer to their future. That's why at PNC Bank and Bank of Delaware, every time you get a loan or open a new account, we'll give you special credits to help your local schools get the athletic gear, computer equipment, and other learning tools that children need. Because at PNC Bank, we believe that the best investment in the future is an investment in our children.
WCAU-TV Philadelphia. Now, Ken Matz, Jane Robelo, Herb Clark Weather, and Ron Berg Sports. This is Channel 10 News.
Good evening, I'm Ken Matz.
And I'm Renee Chanel. Jane has the night off.
Our top story tonight, well, we're going to get them the next time. The Phils fall to the Braves in Game 2 of the National League playoffs. Atlanta scored early and often tonight. Fred McGriff blasting a first-inning home run to start the Braves on their way to a 14-3 victory over the Phils in a game you just saw right here on Channel 10. The Braves' victory means the best-of-7 National League Championship Series is even at a game apiece. And now the series moves on to Atlanta. For a second straight night, though, 60,000 plus jammed into the Vet in hopes of watching the Phils take a second straight playoff victory over the Braves. Here's the view taken during the game by Chopper 10. But unlike last night, this game is one the Phils fans will try to forget. But hey, like I said, it's only game one game, that is, and we only need 3 more wins to grab the pennant. There's a lot of time left.
Well, as Ken told you, it's a minor setback in the Phillies' dream season, but the fans say, well, hey, what? We'll get them in Atlanta. Channel 10's Arthur Fennell, live outside the Vet. Art, how are the fans taking it?
Hey, what a difference a night makes, huh, Renee? You know, they're walking out of here, they're filing out, going home now. Not the same crowds that it was last night, not the same excitement, but they've got a new rallying cry. Now they're saying, we'll be back. Talked to a lot of folks as they were filing out of here, and they all kept saying, hey, look, it's only one game. Remember, it's a best-of-7 series. Take a listen to some of the samples we talked to tonight. How about those Phillies, huh?
Hey, we're still going to be there. It was just nightmare tonight. One game down. Got 3 in Atlanta. Go play them one at a time. And we're back here for Game 6 because I got tickets.
What happened tonight?
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It's good we got it out of our system now. We're going to come back.
How about those fighting Phils tonight, huh?
What am I going to say?
Not good?
No.
Real bad?
Not real
awful.
That means we got to take the show on the road, that's all. That's it. Take the show on the road. But you're still optimistic?
Oh, definitely.
All right, still optimistic, definitely optimistic. They're going to take the show on the road, and everybody around, they're filing out of here now. They're all said, hey, we're still going to win. We're still going to win. we're still going to win. Their heads are bloody but unbowed. Now, that's the scene from here, as grim as it is, but we're going to take you over to Manayunk now. Dennis Waltering is standing by. He's been watching the game with some fans over there on Channel 10 tonight. Dennis, what do you have?
Arthur, Phil's fans here at the River Cafe in Manayunk have been taking advantage of every opportunity to cheer for the Phils tonight. As the night wore on and this loss loomed larger, this crowd thinned out. But people here, as you can tell, have not given up on the Phillies.
We're hoping that they kick some butt in Atlanta and pull it out for city of Philadelphia.
Even before it was over, with the game looking like a Phillies loss, fans here at the River Cafe were trying to put a positive spin on it, looking forward to the rest of the series.
Don't worry, we're still winning. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win the series. Phillies are gonna go all the way.
I have faith. It's all right. One game. We're gonna make it. It's all right. There it is. Whoop. There it is.
Down the street at Pitcher's Pub, a couple fans showed up in Phillies hats and shirts to cheer on the home team. Is it hard to watch this?
No, not at all.
Depressing.
I'm handling it okay.
Depressing for you.
Yeah, we had to drink more. It's been a rough one tonight, but they're going to come back. They're going to come back next to Atlanta. Probably take 2 from Atlanta and come back and finish it off.
This may have been the Braves' night, but as the series moves to 1-1, people here are still cheering for the Phillies and predicting a playoff victory. Live in Manayunk, Dennis Waltering, Channel 10 News. Ken, Renee, back to you.
All right, Dennis, keep the spirit up. Well, our team coverage continues now.
Let's go live back to the vet and Channel 10's Ron Burke, and I guess it was a Braves kind of night. That one ball came down, they said, in Conshohocken.
He hit it about that far. McGriff's ball you're talking about went 458 feet, I think. It's 438, 458. What's the difference? It was a home run, and the Phillies lose 14-3. A huge lopsided loss that shortly after this game, Phillies manager Jim Fregosi tried to put into perspective.
I think it's much easier to lose this way. If you lost a tight game, it sticks with you a little bit longer. I think we just got our butt kicked tonight.
Well, now the series goes back to Atlanta, and Fregosi does not want to relive the memories of Game 2. The most important numbers tell the story that this series is now tied at 1-1. Live at the vet, this is Ron Burke. Back to you, Ken and Renee.
Okay, Ron, thanks a lot. Everybody says this town can be negative. We're going to be positive about this one. We're coming right back at them. Thanks a lot.
Yes, we are. Okay. Thank you, Ron. But we have a lot more in the game coming up tonight on Channel 10. We'll go back to the vet, where Ron Burke will have highlights, lowlights, and post-game interviews from tonight's game. Also coming up, Herb Denenberg with a Channel 10 Focus investigation on counterfeit Philly souvenirs. And don't forget, Game 3 of the National League playoffs come your way on Channel 10 at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. It's all right here on Channel 10, your Phillies station.
Okay, our other top story tonight. President Clinton orders troop reinforcements to Somalia. The president announced his plan during this address on national TV, and he promised harsh action against anyone attacking U.S. forces.
We did not go to Somalia with a military purpose. We never wanted to kill anyone. But those who attack our soldiers must know they will pay a very heavy price.
A mortar attack at the airport in Mogadishu killed another American soldier today, and the death toll from last weekend's ambush rose to 13 when an American soldier died from his wounds at a hospital in Germany. And here's what the president is doing to prevent more casualties. He's sending 1,700 more troops ashore in Somalia. 3,600 combat Marines will be stationed on the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. That's off the coast, bringing the total number of U.S. troops to 10,000. Also, more armored personnel carriers and aircraft are being sent to Somalia.
And tonight, 2 Delaware Valley residents flew home on a cargo plane from Somalia. They were among the many wounded in the line of duty. Channel 10's Andrew Glassman talked to one soldier's mother and found out her reaction to more troops being sent to Somalia.
A military transport plane touches down at Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland tonight. Its cargo, American soldiers wounded in Somalia. The first to leave the plane were carried off on stretchers. Some emerged able to walk off under their own power. This man had his arm in a sling. They arrived just a few hours after their commander-in-chief laid out his plans for the remainder of the Somalia mission on national television. We watched the speech tonight with a group of students at St. Joseph's University. And at its conclusion, almost every hand went up when we asked who among them disagreed with the Clinton policy of staying in Somalia until March 31st.
We've already shown that they're dragging Americans through the streets. 6,000 people are not going to solve a problem. This is the same thing they tried to do in Vietnam.
Delaware Valley residents among the wounded include Mike Carroll of Drexel Hill, who was shot in the shoulder, and John Burns Jr. of Darby Township, wounded in the shoulder and leg after his Jeep came under fire. His parents stand behind the Clinton policy, but
I don't think we had enough manpower and equipment there to do the job that they were set out to do.
tonight, friends of the Burns family report that they've traveled to the Washington, D.C. area to see their son. While his wounds heal, the president must deal with the political consequences of the United States policy, a policy that put John Burns and others in harm's way. Andrew Glassman, Channel 10 News.
Let me make a clarification. Our graphic was incorrect. What we said was correct, however. 1,700 fresh troops will be headed for Somalia. That's what the president ordered.
So tonight, troop reinforcements are heading for Somalia, but a new Channel 10 bullet poll says most people in the Delaware Valley want our soldiers headed the other way. Here are the results of that poll, taken this afternoon before the president's speech. Only 23% of those asked want to send more troops to Somalia. A whopping 70% say it's time to withdraw American soldiers. 7% had no opinion. Now, the poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 4.5%. Ken.
Questions tonight in California after a military plane is destroyed by fire. This is what's left of a C-141 cargo jet that crashed and burned at Travis Air Force Base. It happened as the plane was preparing for takeoff during a routine training mission. The cause of the crash still unknown tonight. Authorities say miraculously no one was hurt or killed. A subway train wreck injures 60 people in New York tonight. One train rear-ended the other at a Brooklyn station during the evening rush hour, disrupting service for thousands of commuters. Investigators are on the scene looking for clues as to what caused that crash. The two candidates in the New Jersey governor's race squared off tonight in a televised debate. Governor Jim Florio and Republican challenger Christine Whitman met in Trenton, where they sparred over taxes. Governor Florio blasted Whitman's 30% tax cut proposal. He called it an empty promise. Listen.
Of almost $900 million. Weather-vane politicians really just won't cut it anymore. You can't tell people just what they want to hear by promising them anything. Ms. Whitman.
Well, I would expect the governor to be in deep denial over tax cuts because he's never met a tax hike he didn't like.
Everyone is really not.
Well, later, Whitman challenged the governor to ban all negative campaign advertising, saying they should stick to just the facts in their ads. Governor Florio responded, saying that's just what he's been doing.
Florio and Whitman will debate again later this month, and you'll be able to see it live here on Channel 10. The date, Tuesday, October 19th. The time, 7 to 8 p.m. That's the New Jersey gubernatorial debate live right here on Channel 10. And tonight, President Clinton making plans for his trip to New Jersey tomorrow. The president will visit the Robert Wood Johnson Medical Center in New Brunswick to talk about his health care plan. Complete coverage of the president's visit to New Jersey tomorrow right here on Channel 10. And tonight, a New Jersey college professor is savoring being named the first African-American writer to win the Nobel Prize in Literature. Professor Toni Morrison of Princeton University wins the Nobel Prize for her literature that captures the African-American experience. She says she is outrageously happy.
Dumbfounded. I thought the woman who called me was having a hallucination or something. I think I write well. And I think I have a distinctive voice.
Yes, she does. She's known for prose that reads like poetry in such visionary works as Song of Solomon, Beloved, and Jazz. Professor Morrison is not saying how she'll spend the $825,000 cash prize that comes along with that award.
And when the Channel 10 News continues, dramatic, just released 911 tapes. You can hear the confusion and the calls for help after the worst Amtrak train disaster ever.
A miraculous story of survival. A man sacrifices his leg to save his life.
Counterfeit Philly souvenirs. There are plenty of them out there, but we'll tell you how to avoid taking one home.
All my friends, we joke about the fact that we don't like to drive our parents' cars because it makes us feel old and stupid. But I told my parents this is the only station wagon I will ever drive.
Surprisingly, soon after buying the wagon, we decided we needed to get a newer car for Ellie to take away to college with her.
We knew that we could go right back to Saturn and get something that we felt good about, but also that Ellie was going to be thrilled with. And
I am.
Tonight, Tracy Ullman and Don Rickles.
At last, nothing to unwrap and fry.
On Late Show with David Letterman, right here on CBS.
I ordered pepperoni and onions on this pizza. I can't taste them. I can't even see them.
They're just cut small.
Small?
So small they can't be seen by the naked eye.
That small?
That's small.
Looking for really big toppings? Now you can find them at Pizza Hut. Introducing the new Chunky Style Pizza. It's got big chunks of meat and vegetables for taste you can actually see.
Hey, I don't believe it. I see one.
Where? Hey.
Just kidding.
Want big toppings? Check out the new Chunky Style Pizza from Pizza Hut.
Now get 5 great-tasting breadsticks delivered for just $1.49.
Well, as we told you, troop reinforcements are heading for Somalia, but a new Channel 10 bullet poll says most people in the Delaware Valley want our soldiers headed the other way. Now, the results of the poll, taken this afternoon before the president's speech, only 23% of those asked want to send more troops to Somalia. 70% say it's time to withdraw American soldiers. 7%, well, they had no opinion. Now, the poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 4.5%.
Tonight, a 911 tape recording from last month's deadly Amtrak disaster in Alabama reveals confusion and desperate pleas for help. It was September 22nd when Amtrak's Sunset Limited plunged off a bridge into a muddy bayou northeast of the Mobile River. Now listen to an Amtrak supervisor during the emergency call he made to 911 26 minutes after the crash. And notice how he confuses the location of the accident.
Amtrak train supervisor, we're on the Mobile River. The bridge is gone out. We got cars burning, people in the river. Can't swim. We need help. Any kind of help you can get down here.
Well, now remember, the crash scene was not on the Mobile River. Investigators believe that a towboat pilot lost in fog rammed several barges into a bridge just minutes before the train's approach.
And tonight, an incredible story of courage. A Colorado man cuts off his own leg in order to save his life. 38-year-old William Jaracki was alone fishing in these mountains when he fell, his leg pinned beneath a boulder. His wife now says it was a miracle he was able to reach his tackle bag for a knife.
When you're trapped under a rock, there's not a whole lot of options to weigh. It's like you didn't have to go through, a list. It's, you're dead, you're alive. And so, since we're not going to talk about death, what do we have to do to stay alive?
Jaracki was airlifted to Denver, as was his severed leg, which was placed inside a trash can and strapped to a stretcher. Doctors were unable to reattach the leg. Jaracki remains in serious condition tonight.
Still ahead on the Channel 10 News, the woman who changed Broadway forever, Agnes DeMille, died today. But her legacy will live on.
And next, Herb Clark is in the Weather Center. Our perfect weather picture is changing. Herb tells us when and for how long after this.
It was for immigrants and their children and their dreams. It was for families, for new beginnings. And today, there's still just one reason why we always do our best. It's for you. Mellon PSFS.
We're here at IKEA today because we just moved.
Yeah, to a much bigger place,
Yes.
and we need a lot of things.
We just moved here from Cleveland.
We can get the rugs, we can get the sofas, we can get the dining table.
My mom wants me to go across the street and introduce myself.
Looking at all the rooms, you get fabulous decorating ideas.
Hi, I'm Zach, the new dork across the street. Do you have any kids my age?
It's really a home decorating center, besides being a furniture store.
Well, Zach, he adjusted pretty well to the move,
Yes, I think he's very comfortable with it.
How you doing there, Zach?
Gettysburg, a motion picture event.
We are an army out to set other men free.
An extraordinary testament to the human spirit.
I don't think race or country matters a damn.
Bruce Williamson calls it awesome, a major event.
What matters is justice.
4 stars, a towering achievement. Gettysburg explodes on the screen. Gettysburg, based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Killer Angels. Rated PG. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Macy's Columbus Day Sale. Discover great savings on outerwear. All Mrs. and Junior coats, 25 to 30% off. Men's London Fog raincoats, just $199.99. All diamond jewelry, save 20 to 50% plus bonus dollars off. White Goose Down comforters, any size, $249.99. Women's fall shoes, 30 to 50% off. Spectacular store-wide savings. Macy's Columbus Day Sale. Now through Monday.
crystalline night, as you saw from the blimp up there, wasn't it, Herb? You did a good job.
No, don't go getting poetic on me. Crystalline. It may as well get cloudy now. I am. I'm upset with the game. 62. It is going to get cloudy. We're clear now, starting to pick up a few clouds. 75 was our Thursday high, 51 early in the morning. We'll stay warm tomorrow because we've got a southerly breeze, but that southerly breeze is also picking up some clouds from way down on the southern coast and bringing them up our way. They're starting to filter in here now. We're still calling clear, but it's starting also to scatter the clouds through the area. And by morning, I think we'll be mostly overcast. Rain to the south, that too will come building up here. There's another front out to the west, and that also is going to play in our future along about Saturday night. Here it is. This comes up tomorrow night with the rain. We get the clouds during the day and 75 degrees, and we hold on to rain and showers through Saturday. Now we have to sacrifice part of the weekend. Then this front, stationary now, starts to get a little speed on, comes through, beats through here late on Saturday night, and Sunday we're going to be cool, very cool again, with a high about 60, 62 degrees, and on the blustery side. So our forecast for this night says now we're going to be partly cloudy through the night. Heavier clouds on toward morning, not as cool, 55 to 60 degrees. We're 62 degrees now. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, 75 degrees mild with the rain coming tomorrow night. Rain on Saturday morning should taper off to showers, maybe even a thunderstorm late on Saturday before the colder air starts pushing in here on Sunday. It holds, the cool air does, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but fairly decent October weather, partly sunny through those days. Rather windy on Sunday, but tomorrow, changeover day. The skies will match the mood.
Hey,
on the,
we're going to turn that around.
No, don't worry about it. We had to do this to build up Atlanta's morale a bit.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks, Herb. Ahead on the Channel 10 News tonight, if you're caught up in Phillies fever, as Herb is, you're probably buying up all the souvenirs possible.
But watch out, not all shirts are created equal. A Channel 10 Focus investigation on counterfeit souvenirs.
Burlington Coat Factory has thousands of coats, not hundreds, thousands.
Jackets, raincoats, leathers, the best labels.
I saw the same coat at the mall yesterday.
Oh,
Look at these low prices.
I know, how do they do it?
Why go anyplace else? I wouldn't.
I got it at the factory, Burlington Coat Factory. They're mighty great coats.
U.S. Healthcare. Sometimes the best medicine of all is a good laugh.
With these in my ears, I can't hear. Look, here, try it yourself now. See that? Can you hear anything? What? Can you hear me? Huh? You can't hear anything, can you? How can I hear if you're going to put these in my ears like that? I mean, after all, I can't hear if you got them in my ears. Huh?
I don't know what it is with you. All other husbands have their wives behind them. Napoleon had Josephine behind him. George Washington had Martha behind him. Mark Antony had Cleopatra behind him. What have I got behind me? Don't you dare!
Oh, hold me closer. Closer. Closer.
I'll hold you any closer, I'll be in back of you.
To Don. This gift is from Jackie. Oh, golly, oh, shucks. I hope that you like it. It costs $40.
U.S. Healthcare. A health plan for living.
Phillies hats, shirts, souvenirs, they're all hot property, and everyone's getting decked out to support the Phils. But beware of counterfeit souvenirs. In tonight's Channel 10 Focus investigation, Herb Denenberg says many who are getting decked out may be getting ripped off.
Foul ball and spare ball. Brought to Paul. The Phillies are
Phillies fever. Philadelphia's got a bad case of it. And Phillies merchandise like T-shirts and hats are jumping off store shelves. But if you buy a shirt or a hat from a street vendor, there's a good chance it's counterfeit and you could be getting ripped off. Down the line, fair ball! While the Phillies chopped the Braves on the field Tuesday night, Channel 10 cameras were on the scene as undercover investigators from Major League Baseball and the city staged a massive raid on vendors all over the stadium area.
The guy's walking around the stadium with a big bag, and sometimes he stops by a tree and he pulls something out and holds it up. You know for a fact that he's selling something.
Right here near the vet, inspector sees counterfeit shirts being sold right on the street.
I'll leave. Okay, come on. No selling a lot, okay?
Okay, I probably won't come back.
Let's go.
Even if merchandise isn't counterfeit, it's illegal to sell it in the area of the vet. That's why inspector sees these Phillies shirts. But most of the merchandise is counterfeit. Here are some of the obvious counterfeits found on the raid. Lousy quality, lousy design, lousy material, and whatever you do, don't try washing it. The raid netted a van full of seized merchandise, much of it counterfeit.
It's really hurting the taxpayer because the taxpayer is basically paying for these people to stay in business because they're paying taxes on all the products that they purchase, and these people aren't paying taxes at all.
You can make sure you don't get ripped off by looking for the telltale signs of a counterfeit.
It doesn't have any copyright notices, no trademark notices at all. The quality of the T-shirt, again, is very poor quality. I'm afraid if you put this in the wash, it's going to go.
This undercover investigator says Philadelphia is a counterfeiting capital, but that's about to change.
We're out here. We are out in force. We will prosecute to the full extent of the law.
We'll be patrolling the streets, the parking lot, the limited access highways, in the ramps, undercover activity to make sure we can maybe hopefully grab the mother lode.
It's not illegal to buy counterfeit products. Your only punishment is that you're likely to get lousy quality merchandise. Herb Dennenberg, Channel 10 News.
And ahead on the Channel 10 News. So the Phils gave up one game. No big deal. They're going to take the next 3.
That's right. Ron Burke is live at Vet Stadium. What's coming up, Ron?
Well, Renee, we will unfortunately have to relive those lowlights for you coming up in sports. We'll also hear from the Phillies what they had to say about this lopsided loss. Coming up in sports.
Hey, take a look at this. Can you see it? The Meridian Advantage card. It's not a credit card. Nope. This little piece of plastic works just like a check. Just like a check. Use it for shopping.
I want this.
Fine dining. Garçon. Supermarketing. Wherever you use your Visa or ATM card. Get your Advantage card free. Get it now and get this. Free checking for a year. A year is a very long time.
Meridian, just say hello.
Very 90s. Thank you.
Any faucet can turn on water. Cola faucets give it shape. Change the flow. Once you turn on a cola faucet, you'll never want plain water again. See your plumbing contractor for all cola products.
What a Sunday. What a Sunday. The Eagles. I'm getting ready. I'll be watching This Is the NFL, the Randall Cunningham Show. I wonder what Randall's going to say. And the Rich Kotite Show. All the inside stuff. Then it's the game. You know, I'm a happy camper. I got football, Channel 10. I'm a big man.
Stay with Channel 10 for all the best in sports.
Channel 10 Sports, sponsored by your Delaware Valley BMW dealers.
I can handle it. The BMW You Can Handle It lease. The snap. A customized lease geared to you. Simple.
Very simple.
And your needs.
Didn't hurt a bit.
Pick a BMW. Any BMW. We'll work with you so it's easy to handle.
Yes!
The BMW you've always wanted.
We can handle it. Easy.
You can handle it at your Delaware Valley BMW dealer.
I think at this late hour, everybody should just think series.
Absolutely.